Upon conclusion of the sweeping internal investigation regarding the Jabberwock incident of 10,191, internal guild security confirmed the existence of a paralytic poison found within Navigator Roz's melange supply. In addition, a responsible saboteur's corpse was discovered in their Carthag domicile, Arrakis. Autopsies of the Navigator and the guild technician showed an identical cause of death, asphyxiation. Rowan Vallinger, the Emperor's Inquisitor and Special Rapporteur on Imperial Matters, had concluded that the technician's death was accidental, and that without further evidence, the Imperial Court and the Landsrat, by extension, would not be able to support additional action on the matter. Internal report to the Guild Council on Junction. Welcome back to Dune Saga, everyone. This is Season 4 of our Dune campaign here on the Stolen Fires channel. I'm Eric at Radon Online, your game master for this epic multi-arc adventure series, which continues tonight with our latest storyline, Judge of the Change. A warm welcome and salutation to new and old viewers alike to the Stolen Fires channel here on Twitch, where there's always an awesome TTRPG live play to look forward to. As a content warning, this program features adult situations and language and may not be suitable for all ages, so viewer discretion is advised. In the way of announcements at the top of our show, we wanted to bring attention to the terrible plight facing the Palestinian people in Gaza right now. Leading this effort online is the U.S. Campaign for Palestinian Rights, or USCPR. Head on over to uscpr.org and use the resources there to contact your representatives and call for a complete ceasefire. Share the link on social media and help spread the message in an effort to get others involved in the struggle. Donate what you can to a network of activists and organizations who are committed to freedom, justice, and equality for the Palestinian people, and for those who also work to end U.S. complicity in their oppression. Educate, organize, and advocate for Palestinian rights. Again, that's uscpr.org for the U.S. Campaign for Palestinian Rights. In the way of music attributions, shoutouts go out to Pixabay, Scott Buckley, Kevin McLeod for Midnight Tale, Coag Music, co.ag, Tabletop Audio, and Blear Moon. You can find more awesome ambient sounds and tunes over at secretpress.bandcamp.com, scottbuckley.com.au, and pixabay.com/music. Many thanks to Modicus Entertainment for making awesome games like Dune Adventures in Imperium for us to play. And we also want to thank Roll20 for using their virtual tabletop platform, perfect for hosting games just like this one. And as always, we want to give big thanks to our viewers and fans for tuning in. Our Haas entourage is here and ready to engage in the deadliest of intrigues. Agents of the Imperium, tell our audience who you are, where they can find you online, and who you will be playing this evening. Beginning with Devin.
Hello, one and all. My name's Devin. You can find me online at Sorta Sullied. And tonight I am playing not Norma, Kanki Sen.
Ever.
Hey everybody, it me, your favorite changeling, and changeling all over the internet, and Etsy on Thornkind. And Thornkind on Etsy. Tonight I will be playing Zoshir Tamer if I can get my mouth to cooperate.
Leo.
Hello, my name is Leo. You can find me here at Leo of the Black, and today I'll be playing Archibald, who may or may not have been violated by Machine Gun.
Moon.
Hello, my name is Khaldun Khalil. You can call me Moon. I'll be playing Nadim Harkonnen, the reluctant Mentat, an all-around friendly guy.
Can't wait to meet him.
Hello everyone, I am Aaron. You can find me pretty much everywhere except Twitter as Great Cthulhu. My pronouns are she, they, they. I'll be playing Eloise Pachere, whose pronouns are she, they, and who is just, by that intro, is absolutely getting fucked over by the Emperor.
Last but not least, of course, Rachel.
Hello, I'm Rachel. I am she, her. I'm Stolen Fires pretty much everywhere on the internet. But you do that because you're here. And I will be playing Lady Daphne Cheshire, who has a shit ton of politics to navigate.
Indeed. Now for a short recap of the previous session, if you would be so kind, Aaron.
Happy to. Tensions in Sahia Tabir are palpable. Asak, Naib of Siege Silago, visits his entourage. Sulago and Sihaya Tabir have never gotten along, and years ago this visit would have been unthinkable. But after the successful razzia, and as news of the Mahdi spreads, many tribes make pilgrimages here. Despite the friendly exchange of water, however, Mirlat clearly does not trust the man. Sayadina Murmur does warmly greet them, quoting religious passages. Sock speaks of Stilgar's news, including the captured Sadakar. He clearly doesn't believe Zoshir is capable of that, but either way, the faith of the other Fremen have in him may be enough to finally kick the Outframe off their planet. Zoshir is grateful for his support. For all that he doubts, he is the prophesied Messiah of DUNE. Whatever he is, he's doing what must be done. After Hersak and his entourage retire, Merlat warns Zoshir against trusting him. They must also deal with the silent Sadakar prisoner. Zoshir suggests that Bene Gesserit might be able to get something out of him. He heads to Murmur's quarters, where he sees her speaking with Hersak. She promises to get started with the voice at first light. Something seems off, however. Perhaps the result of Kyra's memories. After speaking briefly with his bodyguards, Nelia and Shiri, about his heritage, Zoshir plans to destroy his father's belongings. He's Fremen, not Harkonnen. He never gets the chance. A fight erupts in the middle of the night, Nelia and Shira against two of Hasak's entourage. Zoshir takes a wound meant from Nelia as the noise attracts others. Hasak confronts Zoshir with what Murmur told him, his true heritage. He clearly wants— I'm so nervous, I just heard a dice roll. He clearly wants to fight, but Zoshir managed to pacify the crowd. He shames Hasak by sparing him and explains himself. After all, prophecy says the Mahdi is supposed to be outframed. But everyone is interrupted when the Sadakar begins escaping. Zoshir runs to find him in an ornithopter with Murma, not a hostage, a collaborator. Elsewhere on Arakeen, it's moving day. House Cheshire is taking up residence at the former Harkonnen quarters in Carthag, while the Atreides move into the Arakeen Palace. The nightmares have stopped ever since they arrived, and Mossam has struck up a friendship with the Duke's young son. Kanki goes to look for Mossam as Lady Daphne meets with the Duke. Leto explains his plans to her, an alliance of minor and major houses to censure the Padishah Emperor and use a pool of Chom shares to depose him. He also asks if Daphne has any proof of a Carino-Harkonnen alliance. Well, there was that one captured Sadakar. She promises Cheshire resources to his plan, but even though she's technically the heir of two houses, she'd want to talk to Mossam about what to do with Iasi assets are standing. She'd also have to formally claim those assets, involving the Landsrat and perhaps Bene Gesserit. Lastly, the Duke mentions another secret stash of spice, this one hidden on Gidi Prime. Fade Routha will host some gladiatorial games soon. Perhaps Daphne could send a fighter as a color of taking that stash. She has some candidates in mind. Looking for Mossam, Kanki is intercepted by a Sadakar, Captain Shamsa, wanting the same information, though he's much ruder about it. The Emperor no longer keeps his son hidden, and has sent Sadakar to protect him. Lady Jessica arrives and does her best to soothe everyone's frazzled nerves. She leads them to where the young prince is, while secretly making Kanki aware they need to speak. In the banquet hall, Mossam wears a shield and duels another young man, Paul Atreides. Gurney Halleck oversees the training, but Shamsa insists on ending the duel immediately and getting Mossam to Carthag. The boy gives a friendly goodbye to the Atreides. Meanwhile, Jessica reveals a spy has been embedded in our house. A spy. Kanki remembers one of Daphne's new handmaidens and goes in search of her. But the spy seems to realize she's been made and is clearly fleeing. Hopefully she won't get far with Kanki on her trail. Elsewhere in the Imperium, after landing the Hayliner safely on Jabberwock, Eloise sees the suffering here. The people have been reduced to selling the planet's precious jungle cats. After a brief visit with the doctor, she and Amira meet with the guild representative. Sila Dorliek congratulates Eloise on the number of lives she saved, both on the Hayliner and on Jabberwock. The guild now regrets how things unraveled on Arrakis, and Adric has been recalled to Junction. Eloise is offered reinstatement in the guild, but she declines in favor of leading her new house. She maintains good relations with the guild, however, and wants a full investigation of the Poison Navigator. She suspects Harkonnen. Lady Spachare's next stop is Omelis. She demands to know how involved he was in the plot to steal her as a baby. He doesn't deny anything, but swears it was all for the good of the house. As penance, Eloise reinstates him as House Mentat, for her house. Amir remains suspicious, threatening him. Beatrice is also retrieved, confused and a little nervous. After that, the fallen must be laid to rest. Ferris has brought the bodies here of Alicia Cheshire, Pardo Reed, and Dr. Sloan. Pardo gets a very sweet poem recited in his honor, and Amira puts a small chopboard on his grave. She moves one piece and says it's his turn. Ferris, however, addresses his mother's grave and renounces his house and heritage. Lastly, she meets with Yeva. The other Oban is irate, though whether that's over Archibald abandoning her or giving up his house to Eloise is debatable. She tears down Archibald and his presumed military prowess, saying it's just a myth told to comfort widows and orphans. But Eloise isn't here for that. She produces a small vial, the antidote, and she makes Yeva an offer. The child she carries is a Cheshire, and Eloise needs an heir for her house. She offers to adopt the child. Yeva resentfully accepts, having few other options. Alone, Eloise promises Amira that this is just the beginning, before they break the Imperium and usher in a new age. Darmont, the pleasure planet. One man, however, travels here on business. He's met by other men wearing Harkonnen livery, and taken by ground car to the palatial compound of Harem. Here, in a room full of scents of addictive scents and Samuda and melange, floats Iskander Harkonnen, another nephew of Vladimir's. He greets his younger brother, Nadim. After some mild flattery, Iskander gets down to business. Their uncle made a right mess of Arrakis, and if the two of them work together, they might displace mean old uncle as leaders of their house. That, however, requires trust. Not something Medine has a surfeit of regarding his sibling. He does accept the suggestion of traveling to Arrakis. Before that, their oafish half-brother Vasily must be taken care of. To this end, Iskander gives Nadim a beautiful box with a poisoned blade inside. Vasily, an accomplished duelist, attends a bachelorette party, a small dog in his arms. The conversation is awkward, as Vasily knows Nadim isn't here just to party. This gets very different when Nadim says he's here to kill Vasily. Vasily laughs before realizing his half-brother is deadly serious. A duel, then. Nadim inflicts a painful cut on Vasily's cheek, an attack on his vanity that distracts the man from realizing he's also been secretly pricked by the poisoned dagger. Nadim claims the dog Roy as a trophy before heading to the spaceport in Arrakis. You can pet the dog in this game, turns out. Time passes differently on Two-Pile, especially as Archibald has returned to being imprisoned. But by what? Or who? Determined to regain his freedom, he shimmies through some ventilation shafts before encountering an unmoving Allfather. He moves to confront the living embodiment of thinking machines and heresy. The Allfather greets the other man, revealing that this has all just been a simulation. Reality stopped when they shook hands, and thousands of thinking machines colonized his mind, or killed him. His body is a machine right now. Which is it? He's pulled back into his body, naked in a pod connected to many wires. The Allfather, flanked by his robotic assistants, Hugin and Munin, wants to return to Imperial society, but Archibald cannot leave here without being integrated. Whatever that means. The Allfather promises it means immortality, but before he can say anything more, the wall explodes. Armored humans destroy Hugin and Munin, while another takes Archibald captive. He's brought to some kind of craft where one welcomes him aboard the new jihad. He's rescued, but clearly still in some kind of prison.
Thank you for reading that, Aaron, and thank you, as always, to Rachel for the excellent recaps. Now we can begin the drama once again with Judge of the Change. And I was going to start off with Leo, but he doesn't seem to be at his desk at the moment, so we will continue in a sort of backwards fashion here with Zashir to conclude the scene in the siege.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, yes, indeed. So, you are coming face to face with a captive Sardaukar captain that was released from captivity by the Saidina of your siege, Murma, who you are currently seeing taking off into the distance as the sun is rising on the horizons in an ornithopter. Between you and your quarry is this Sardaukar wielding a Chris knife, a Fremen Chris knife, Murma's presumably. Your two bodyguards are eager to engage with the captive. They have their weapons out and ready. Everybody's giving the Sardaukar clear berth because they are already aware of how dangerous they are. you're in command. Everybody else is just sort of beholden to what you want to do. The default, though, is for them to dispatch the Sardaukar and take his water. Take her water, excuse me. You can change that because by virtue of you being the Mahdi. But in order for that to happen, you have to speak up or make a decision. So, are you going to engage the Sardaukar yourself, let your bodyguards do it, and if so, are you going to aim to recapture them or to kill them?
Zoshir's kind of a hands-on guy, so he's going to engage and attempt to collect alive. However, he knows how dangerous the Sardaukar are.
Okay.
So death isn't off the table.
Sounds good. I'm gonna go spend some threat.
God damn it.
Let's roll some dice, shall we?
This is how Eric shows he loves us.
Yes, I torture your characters
With
a lot.
murder.
Let's see. Duty is gonna get all of them. Yeah, named characters. That's all dice and specialty focus. Yes. Okay. These. Are you going to try to attack first, or are you like taking a defensive position against them?
Defensive.
Okay, so then, let's see. You need to roll battle to see what exactly is going to be the threshold for the Sardaukar to defeat. And you have 2 momentum only currently, unless you want to pay me threat.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna be using duty off the siege.
You have benevolences that you can draw upon if you need to re-roll. If you spend 1 momentum, you'll get an extra die, so you get 3 instead of the standard 2.
So, I might do that. Last session, there was something about my short blades and battle being 4 out of 6 or something like that.
You took damage. Yeah, that doesn't mean that it like if your maximum battle is like 7 or whatever, that never goes down. It just sets like the threshold for how much damage you can take during a battle before you're defeated.
Gotcha.
So if you have
okay.
4 out of 7 battle, that just means you still operate at 7 battle.
Okay. I can pre-use a Benny, yes?
Yeah, you can use it when you need to. You don't have to claim it beforehand.
Okay. I'm gonna roll 3 dices then.
All right.
And try not to die. Using focus, yes.
There you go.
That's
cool.
20. You got
20.
2 successes. That sets
Yay.
up your defense. And did you want to use a benevolence to re-roll that 20? Because if you don't, it's going to cost you 2 threat to get rid of it, or it's going to cost you a complication in the way of, like, I don't know, losing your blade or something like that, getting off, taken off of your position.
As much as I like the idea of that kind of flavor, I think I'll just use that second penny.
Okay. So you can use the first one to re-roll the d20. Just roll a d20 and see if you can hit a 14 or less for a success. Look at that, you rolled a 3. So that actually nets you 2 successes on top of the 2 that you already got, which means that your defense is a 4. Let's see what what she gets when she attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, right on the money with the complication. Okay. Okay, you set up your defense, and she comes in to try to take a slash at you, and you maneuver just out of the way, well enough to deflect her the blow. And in the process, you manage to place the blade close enough to try to disarm her. And then it is your turn to strike. If you wanted to attack her to disarm her, or if you just wanted to go for the blood.
Disarm.
Okay.
So rolling another battle, yes?
Yes. You can spend the last momentum if you wish to have 3 dice instead of 2.
Hey Zoshir, isn't your Chris knife like quality 3?
Yes.
Quality only counts towards damaging the battle score. So it's not like, think of it
Got
in
it.
D&D terms as not plus to hit, but plus to damage. For successes, that's pretty good. Let's
Yay.
see if our Sardaukar can outmatch that. Let's see. Oh, malevolence, huh?
Please don't, please don't, please don't. No.
I'm gonna make you re-roll one of those dice using the malevolence.
Oh
So
dear.
what that basically means is that you get 2 successes, and then you have to re-roll one at the other one, so you don't get those 2 successes. Go ahead and re-roll. Just a 1 die.
Get that nat 1, do it.
Do it. Great.
Managed to roll 6 or less. Yeah, you did. Hey, you did it still. Wow, the exact number you needed. Okay. So you get 4 successes towards the attack. Let's see what spending some threat here will do for me. Okay, so 3. Go ahead and take an advancement point. Actually, go ahead and take an advancement point because I'm dropping it on you right now.
What?
I'm dropping some serious threat on you currently.
You
Okay.
really want that Sardaukar to get away, huh?
Oh, he's not. Oh, she's not trying to get away, but you know, she's, for whatever reason, she's trying to fight all of you at the same time. Let's see.
I feel like this is a trap.
4 dice. With
Nah, I think this Sardaukar plans on dying, so the advantage effort gets away.
A trap
okay,
on
that's
Arrakis?
6 successes. That's
Ooh,
6
what a
successes
ball.
above 4, which means you take. That's a net 2 successes. That means you take 4 battle damage. How much were you at with battle?
4.
Plus 1 Chris knife makes it 5.
Oh, okay.
So
Cool.
you need to resist to be defeated, meaning you need to roll discipline. You need at least 2 difficulty, if I'm not mistaken. Make it 3. 3 difficulty on your discipline roll. Otherwise, you face potential death at the hands of your enemy.
Eric just straight up opening the game with the death.
The potential.
The
I
trend
don't know.
continues.
I have faith in Zoshir.
I believe in
Oh.
Zoshir.
Badass.
I do.
I have no focus and discipline. Because I
Okay.
still haven't spent my advancement points.
Oh, shame on you.
Yeah, shame on me.
Oh, you
That's
have.
good.
That's not good enough. You want to use. I would recommend that you use one of the 2 last benevolences that you have left, or
Spend a momentum.
or spend a momentum, roll an extra die.
I also have a determination point since it's a new
You
session.
do? Yes. Which
I'll do
you can
that.
Spend, and that'll give you 2 extra successes. Okay. So you're not outright defeated by the Sardaukar, but she allows you to get in close enough and make it look like you're gonna disarm her, and that's when she takes the opportunity to reverse the grip on the blade and drag it across your still suit in a nice long curve close to your neck. It takes your reaction to basically pull back from her just slitting your throat. You're bleeding and your still suit is damaged. And at the sight of this, the second time you've been injured this day, Shiri and your other bodyguard, Nelia, they freak out and they immediately pounce on the Sardaukar. Like, they don't wait for you to give the order or anything like that. They're looking for blood now. Let's see. Go ahead and roll a battle roll, Zoshir, but this time don't use the say no to the focuses.
This time, do say no to the focuses.
Yeah, so if it asks you if you have focuses, just say no. When you're rolling 2 dice.
Thank you, dice gods.
Successes. Okay.
Dice gods really like you today, Edward.
Well, except for that nat 20.
Oh!
Holy
Ooh.
balls.
Ooh!
Holy
rough.
shit!
Yeah.
Hey, he's gonna
So,
spend more
but-
fret.
she manages to meet the attack, the combined attack from the two Fremen warriors, and she dishes one out. They obviously overwhelm her, but not before more blood is spilled. And you see Nelia just kind of drop to one knee and like clutch her side as she falls over. Shiri just like knocks the Sadakar out, and she's laid out on the floor. She goes to take her life essentially. Do you stop her, or do you let her, or do you give your tribe the blood that they're calling for?
Ooh.
As a consequence, if you kill the Sardaukar, that's someone who can't testify at Shaddam's trial for their collusion with the Harkonnen. It's that much you know. Of course, if you don't kill him, that will play badly to the rest of your siege, because you've already spared the Idwali, if you recall, from last season.
Or decisions.
Yeah, this is a really tough one, actually.
I mean,
No.
false witnesses are a dime a dozen. We can always get another one of those.
But before
This is
Against
why we
the
need this-
Emperor, though?
This is why we
Against
needed the
the
Harkonnen on the team.
Well, shit. Aw.
And he's not on the team yet.
That's fair.
He's
That's
getting
fair.
there. He's like on a ship going to Arrakis.
You know, so here just was found out as not being an actual born Fremen, and he's been doing a lot for Outtrain instead of his siege, so he's actually going to give this one to his siege.
Oh, allow them to take the Sadakar's water? Okay. You see some of them, like, yell at Shiri, like, no, stay your blade. And she looks back at you, and you just give her, like, this nod, like, go ahead and take it. And she just brings the blade down, kills her, one shot. And then she immediately goes to her beloved's side and realizes that Nelly is dead. The rest of the tribe gathers
What?
around, and they're like, the Saidina betrayed us. We need to send someone to capture her now. Mahdi. You see, Hassak is like, kind of beside himself, but he's like, I shall send my warriors. And Merlat cuts him off. He's like, no, this is not your call. And he looks towards you.
Sayadina must pay.
Nods, and he kind of gives the silent word. Some of the space dancers and the other Fremen immediately run into the other antechamber where a secondary Ornithopter is waiting, and they board it and they take off. The Ornithopter appears to be heading towards the Imperial Basin, to no one's surprise. Shiri, clutches, no tears, but clutches Nelia close. And you're not sure, but you think you maybe catch a glance that she throws you. And then she quickly turns away. Merlat is like, Are you all right, Modi? And like he offers to help you up, and immediately there are people swarming you, like, putting like pads on where your still suit has been breached, and like trying to help you up and lift you, bring you to another part of the siege where they can treat your wounds. You can stand, but you've been stabbed twice. Yeah.
Zoshir will allow them to take care of his wounds. He knows how important moisture is in the desert, obviously. And he's... Where do I want to go with this? He's definitely beginning to think about having someone who can be extremely trusted, who he can confide in the worst things about all of this and how to plan and scheme, because he is not a schemer.
If you're looking for that, then look no further than Merlot, who is the spy master essentially for your siege. He's a face dancer, but he was like a zealot to Kyra and her vision of the
Oh.
Imperium.
Rachel.
And also, you see, out in the hall, poor Purdy is just kind of standing there, like bereft of anything, just like standing in shock at her friend. But Merlac quickly closes the curtain, and he's like, Myrma will no doubt be flying until they know something. If she's flying towards the Imperial Basin, we have friends there, do we not? Friends that we can count on?
We do.
You say the word, Maggie, and I'll make contact with our allies.
Do so. I cannot let her get off the planet.
You need rest first. Stay here. We shall I shall come back with more information at a later time. Please rest yourself for now. I will deal with Hasak and his group. His little enclave.
There's no time to rest.
Please. Or that, like, he turns. Does Sashir, like, listen to Merlot and, like, get some bed rest until the wounds heal, or is he, like, limping around, like, doing stuff around the siege?
Combination in between, like, happy medium of those two things.
Okay, fair enough.
Because, life in the desert doesn't stop just because... Thank you, dog. Just because I get his stabbings.
Okay, a lot of people are like, please don't do this, let me do that for you, etc. You need your rest. Don't waste your body's water on this, but you're insistent, and who are they to question the Mahdi? So you go up and about, but like this, everything that is happening right now is just like no one saw coming. Hasak leaves embarrassed with his troop, but he gives you a look of respect upon leaving your siege. Like, you've changed his mind a little bit, it seems. Perhaps he won't be as vociferous against your candidacy for the for leader of the Naibs, Naib of Naibs, at a later time, which is what you've heard talk of, a council of Naibs basically coming together at Siege Tabir to basically consecrate your position as the top of the pyramid, so to speak. But with that, he quietly takes his leave with his people, and we will now shift to Jared, who I did not have an opportunity previously to elaborate on your current peril. Yes. So. So, you have been thrown into this troop carrier style aircraft by these masked, suited rebels, from what you can tell, wearing old tech, but stuff that it still adheres to Butlerian edicts. They're able to, judging by their equipment, that they're able to see in the dark, and that they're able to exist in a protective suit that protects them from any sort of like gaseous attacks or anything like that. It's kind of curious because they did so while assaulting the citadel that you were holed up in with Allfather. So they sort of expected more resistance. And now you're starting to question, like, how in the world did they manage to do this? But they dragged you out, they threw you in, and they basically pointed weapons at you because they're captive now. The ship takes off into the air and out into the atmosphere, And you see the woman speaks with this like sort of posh accent to the other soldiers that are part of her retinue. She's like, "Take us to the longbow." It's like as you know, one of them's like, "They're giving chase," and you feel the spacecraft shake somewhat, like there's like a thrumming sound. It's like enable the shield generator, shake them. We need to get back to the longbow so we can get back to HQ. Let's go. And do you say or do anything? You're kind of like at their mercy, but you can tell that these people are very obviously against Allfather and his adherents.
I'm gonna say my troop, we need them. I don't know who you people are, but we need them.
The woman says, "Shut up!" And it's like she kind of like grabs you by like your lapel, pushes you up against the wall, and puts like what seems like a Mala pistol or Mala rifle like just underneath your jaw. What did Allfather want with you?
Really?
You mean to tell me that you don't know? You came all the way out here to Two Pile and you have no idea why the machines want you?
He fucking met me there, all right? And one thing you need to know about those soldiers are those soldiers are elite. That's probably why, to be honest with you. I'm a great military mind.
Sounds like you're having delusions of grandeur. If that
elite
force that you brought with you was so good, why couldn't they protect you from Allfather?
Wait, can you repeat that question? I didn't hear it.
She's basically saying, like, if you're claimed to be such a brilliant military strategist and you claim to have such an elite force alongside you, how come they couldn't protect you against Allfather? She's making the assumption that you were captured by Allfather and his adherents. You didn't just walk in there willingly and go, "Hey." How do you respond?
So I'm gonna say, you think I was captured? He met me here. I came here.
Willingly?
Yes.
Why?
Because.
Too many questions, another one says. We're gonna have to take him in for detox. If he was at Citadel for any period of time, Allfather's probably got his hooks in him already. And she kind of nods in agreement, like, yes.
I'm just saying, we need those troops, and I'll tell you why. Those troops are elite. They have the training that could probably help you guys.
Talks over you again. He's like, so am I. So are we.
Oh, are you? Okay.
And that's when I kind of like, is there something you're contesting about the fact that we just grabbed you in like less than 5 minutes out of the top of the machine overlord over here? I don't know who the hell you think you are. But...
Sorry, go on.
She's like, I don't know who the hell you think you are, but obviously Allfather had an interest in you, and that's why we're here. See, in the distance, a larger ship looms. An aperture opens up, and they fly right in. Larger ship looks like a frigate or something like that. They immediately start like motioning for you to get out. You see, looking behind you, heard explosions, and you see some of Allfather's ships that had followed the troop transports are now like floating debris out in space. The main ship's doors close. You guys are given the green light to vacate the troop transport, and they basically put your hands, above your head like this, and they use some sort of clamps to keep your hands together because they can't trust you just yet. Do you resist them at all? Like, do you look for an opportunity to like knock somebody out or grab a gun or whatever? Or are you gonna play cool?
Nope, I'm playing it cool. There's way more of them than there is of me.
Okay, fair enough. They bring you into this larger ship, and they yank you back down this long hallway, semi-filled with people in like some sort of an outfit. Looks like different styles. for different positions upon the ship and within the organization itself for this new jihad. They salute as the woman who you catch her name as Inessa, captain. They salute her as she goes by. Her hands are firmly on your arms, and as they're dragging you to this room, doors open up, and it looks like a decontamination chamber. The door, they hit a switch, door flies open, and they kind of push you inside. And she's standing there with her gun, cocked and ready, and leaning on her shoulder. And she looks at you and says, "Strip."
I'll just start taking stuff off.
Show off for her, Archibald. Show off.
That's exactly what I meant. And I'm like,
impress your new suitor.
And I'm gonna say, well, if you like what you see, don't be afraid to say something.
She kind of rolls her eyes, grabs your clothes and throws them outside the room, then hits the panel again to shut the door. What happens then is the chamber that you're in, transparent walls all around, starts filling with gas, and you start coughing. And initially it was just like an irritant, but then the top part of your mind, your head feels like it's on fire. It not dissimilar to how you felt back in the garden 2 seasons ago when Alicia had used the Ixian probe to extract your memories. It kind of feels like that, like every neuron, every network connection in your brain is like lit ablaze, and you're just like like a biggest migraine you've ever had in your life.
Ugh.
Use the drain in the middle of the chamber, she says. And sure enough, there's a drain there. You remember what Allfather said, that eventually over time, the nanobots that were colonizing your mind would just kind of, dissipate, and after you relieve yourself, they'll all leave your body.
I'm going
You get
to
that
100% make
hot, runny sensation from your head all the way slowly, like drinking really bad tequila or something, or heading all the way down your body. Don't be shy. You do what you have to do. It burns. It hurts.
Okay. Eventually it's such that she looks over at somebody who's in a smock. He's checking levels now. You hear the readouts of these machines and stuff like that. He's clear. Door opens back up again. This, by the way, goes on for the better part of an hour. It's excruciating. She throws the clothes back at you and tells you to put them back on. Okay. That's what I will do.
Once you do that, she's like, "Come here, sit over there." They take you to this adjoining chamber, and it's literally just an interrogation chamber. It's just a chair and the 4 walls, and very obviously at least one side of the room there are people watching, and that much is clear. And there's a tainted transparent steel partition there. You feel the ship surging to life. Have a seat. We have questions for you.
Okay.
You said you came here willingly. Why?
I have a very ambitious mind, to be honest with you.
Ambitious how?
Just may call me crazy, but I see Tupile as an untapped potential.
Oh, you're an opportunist. Fantastic.
Not really.
What exactly were you hoping to tap as far as opportunities here?
I want to make Tupile an empire.
Is that right?
Yes.
An empire of what?
One that rivals the Lanzarod.
Well, you clearly are
Crazy?
insane.
I know.
Yes, or delusional. And it's is that why you went to Allfather for this, for him to bequeath some sort of an empire to you?
Absolutely not. He came to me. When I
How
set
so?
foot right on the ground, he was there waiting for me. It's almost like he knew.
What did he say about his ability about how he was able to know that you were arriving?
He said that he could give me knowledge of untapped potential.
And what was your response?
Well,
Mind your answers carefully.
First of all, he's a machine. Whether you like to believe it or not, I am from the Lawns Rod. I know they're dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him. I knew this. I was told the stories of what happened back then. He blamed it on the humans. So I told him no.
You declined his offer. If you are bullshitting her in any way, you're going to have to make a communications roll.
Oh, 100% I am not bullshitting her.
Okay. So then you get a bonus. Because
you.
they are like scrutinizing you and looking for any reason they might have to just shoot you right now.
It's okay. I've been at the end of a barrel before.
So the machines are now outside of your body, which means Allfather's no longer tracking. Neither of him or his children have any means to track you where you are now, which means we're safe to go to Nova Gaia.
Nova Gaia? What's that?
Oh, I'm sure you can recall, General. It's what remains of Earth.
General, do you know who I am?
I'm not a general, I'm a captain. The reason why we're here is because we don't know who you are, or why you came to Two-Pile. Your claim is because Allfather was waiting for you. No one comes out here, however. Unless you're black marketeers, smugglers, and even then.
Well, in my honest opinion, I think Two-Pile has an advantage against the Lawns Rod.
I don't think you understand the gravity of what's going on here, General.
Oh.
The New Jihad has been fighting Allfather for thousands of years. We've been deadlocked against him, but we can't seem to get an edge over him because him and his adherents always seem to know when we're going to strike. Today we got lucky. Give me an understand roll.
Okay.
3 or higher.
3. Okay. Understand roll. I shouldn't have had that energy drink. I could probably do deductive reasoning on this. Couldn't
Yes.
I could.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You can roll extra dice if you want to pay me some threat, because you seem to be... Oh, wait, no, you have 1 momentum. My mistake. You can use that 1 momentum to roll an extra die.
I'm going to use truth because I could also use the you know me by my deeds. I guarantee he would have heard about me from the Lawns Rod.
You're speaking the truth. It makes sense. Yeah.
So
trying to convince them that you're telling the truth.
Yep.
Go for it.
How many dice? Truth. Should I use this last? Oh, we got 2 benevolence. I'm gonna use that last.
Well, benevolence is just a reroll. So if you roll like crap, you can reroll. 1 or both dice if you want.
I'll use the last momentum and then save the benevolences for everybody else.
Sure. Okay. Fair enough. Go ahead and make your roll.
Using the focus. Focuses are the you will know me by my deeds thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making sure.
This is truth versus faith.
Oh! 3! And 1 momentum, so I think that's 1, so a 4, right? Correct?
One momentum. Well, you got 3 right on the money.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, you got it just how you needed it. So interestingly, yeah, you talk a good game. You're like, I'm not here to. I wasn't here to make deals with him. I didn't know he was going to be here. I just showed up. And it's like, so you managed to convince her at least to be like, all right, I'm taking you to Nova Gaia to meet the rest of the council, to meet with Fenris. And it's like, we will then evaluate whether or not you're going to be of use to us or not. It's like, if you adhere to the edicts of the Butlerian Jihad and to your Landsrad, what's left of it, then you understand that what Allfather is and what he represents is unprecedented danger to all of the Imperium. He wants to turn all of us into his children.
He's a hive
Those
mind.
things.
It's
That
one
much we've
entity
already
doing
discovered. What we don't know is how he's able to figure out how we move, and he's able to anticipate our every move. With your understand roll, you realize that if what she's saying is true, if Allfather is able to deftly outmaneuver New Jihad has been for thousands of years, how did it manage to happen that he allowed this to occur? Unless he wanted it to occur.
Wait, say it again.
So, Allfather is prescient, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the hive mind of all these people, including past navigators and such. He essentially has prescience. So he's been able to, dance around the New Jihad for thousands of years. So how is it exactly that this little ragtag group of rebels was able to pull you out from underneath him? Someone who, in his own words, was crucial to his mission. Unless that was part of his plan.
Oh. Okay.
This is starting to dawn on you now, and you're like, oh shit.
Fuck.
Is there a problem, General? You
You
went away
think
for
I'm
a
working
moment
with
there.
him?
I have my suspicions.
I trust you. I'm not working with him whatsoever.
You're not working for him.
No.
And you came here willingly.
Yeah.
Then would you be able to support our cause as opposed to his?
100%.
You would commit your life to our struggle. You don't barely know us. How
Yeah,
can we
but
trust that?
guess you're gonna have to trust a prisoner's words. I've been one too. I know what it's like.
You feel the ship descend, and right around that time, they undo the restraints on your hands, and they lead you out. And he's like, come, it's time for you to meet the council.
By all means.
You see what the ship is landing at what seems to be like a tremendous ruin. And it lands right in the middle of these ancient ruins of cities, and like something opens up beneath the ship and it continues to go down beneath the horizon line. It kind of reminds you of the sensation you felt when you went to Ix, and how the cities are underneath the surface of the planet. How they, after it was bombarded and destroyed, they created an entire society underneath the surface. This is kind of like that, massive caverns,
Oh, that's cool.
and big cities lighting up the dark. From what you can tell, nothing grows on the surface of Earth anymore. So everything is grown in laboratories with lights. They seem to run as the ship lands and you look around, like the various pipe work and the facilities that are there. It seems that they use a lot of their salt water. They run it through tremendous filtering and recycling processes. They use the flow of the water to generate electricity to power their cities. And as they're walking you out of the hangar and they're moving you into these massive areas where you see a lot more people than you saw on the ship. She starts telling you about their society. You've managed to convince them enough of that. And it's just little bits and pieces here, but they eventually bring you to this chamber where you're to meet some person or a council called Fenris or Fenrir. The doors open up, and it's like a hollow table that you've seen before many a times. And they sit you down. You're exhausted at this point. You've been through a lot. But they sit you down and they take positions around the circular room, and the hollow table springs to life, and what appears is a person with a mask on to greet you in some ancient manner. You must be General Archibald. And you must have many, many, many questions.
Oh, you believe me? I do.
No, we don't quite believe you yet. But we believe you have information on our enemy. And if we're to trust you, you're going to need to share what you know about Allfather and his adherents. Why don't you start at the beginning? The voice says. That's where we'll shift the camera again. We'll go to, let's see. Let's go to Norma. Okay. All right. So you've been tracking this Bene Gesserit spy out of the palace in Arakeen for a little bit of time now, and they've made their way into an area that appears to be some sort of drinking hovel, the Catch Tube Cantina, it's called. You see, however, this is happening in the morning before the bar opens. There is noticeably a area above the bar that is some sort of a flat, and your hyper awareness, she kind of goes into the alley adjacent to it. You kind of follow and look, and you see she disappears into the employee side door. She's meeting with somebody inside, that much you can tell, and it's happening on the top floor of the building. How did you want to proceed?
Okay, it's happening on the top floor.
Mm-hmm.
The way that the place is built, is there like ventilation up on the top where you'd be able?
Yeah, so the way that Arrakis is built, it uses low-tech forms, you could say ancient forms of cooling the air. So basically they operate with such things where wind catchers, where they basically the air is funneled down beneath the ground, where there's a kanat, and then it rises again, and it basically acts like an ancient central air system, air conditioning system for anybody who's operating a public building of some sort.
So then I'd like to try and climb up to the top and kind of shimmy my way in through that outtake duct, so that way worst case scenario is I can hear them from the inside.
Excellent. This is going to be a move difficulty 2 to achieve. I don't think that's going to be a problem for you, but go ahead and roll.
All right. And let me just see if this would be helpful. Would you consider it difficult terrain?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what Nimble's for. Automatically reduces the DC.
Excellent.
And since it's a Bene Gesserit thing, I can roll 3 and take better than 2. No focus. Okay, yeah. 2 successes.
Hey, all right. You got 3, so that actually gets you a point of momentum, which you can spend or you can hold on to, however you wish.
I'll hold on to it. And like I said, the Nimble drops the DC by 2.
Oh, you're okay. Yeah. All right. Bad. So yeah, you actually get another one. Well done.
Nimble exists to help us make
Fucking
momentum.
A, it does. All right. So you lower yourself down, and you use your prana bindu conditioning to squeeze through entries that no normal person would be able to do without like excruciating pain. And you just come out of it, and you take a breath, you steady yourself, and you listen. You hear a conversation taking place between three women. The first one is, you can tell, is the woman that you were trailing out of the palace, the handmaiden. How long? She asks. An older woman responds, unclear. It will take at least a few days for the guild to deliver your report. In the meantime, you know the protocol. Keep a low profile until they respond. Go now. The longer you loiter here, the more attention you bring to our operation. You hear there's a silence for a second, and then you hear like very faint footsteps as this woman that you've tracked here is beginning to leave. Let's see. You hear like start to leave the room and start taking the stairs down very, very quietly, very, very slowly and deliberately. Do you move to stop her, or do you listen to the conversation the other two women are having as well?
I want to listen to the conversation. They know that I'm trailing somebody who left. Plus, okay, do I recognize the voice of the older woman who was speaking?
Their cadence is such that they are unmistakably Bene Gesserit trained. Like the way that they're speaking, like the the way that they talk and stuff, and how they're operating, Bene Gesserit for sure. You hear the other the woman that you followed here starts to leave, and that's when the older one speaks up, or actually another woman, not the older one, speaks up and says, I have critical information for Harishka. She mentions Mother Superior's name. The older woman responds, judging by your exasperated status, it certainly sounds important. The other one continues, you don't understand. Kyra has shared everything with Longinus. It almost broke her, but she managed to share some of it with me. Her plan for the Imperium. This sect of Fremen, the cult she's constructed with the face dancers, all of it has to be eradicated. The older one responds, stop right there. I don't need to know all of this. Save it for your debrief with Mother Superior. But the other woman just talks right over her. I saw something horrific, D. It was a thing like one of the sandworms here, but it had a human face. One of the houses on DUNE will usher in a terrible abomination and bring about an end to the Imperium as we know it. This was Kyra's agenda all along. She knew. And the older woman steps in. Her voice goes many octaves higher. Says, control yourself, woman. Clearly your information suffered a break, and now they've shared it with you. We will need to send you to the healing houses, lest you too succumb to whatever infected our informant. You can stay in the guest room for the time being, but you must vacate the moment a guild ship departs for Laotian. Laotian you realize is the system where Warlock X, aka Chapter House, is located. How would you like to proceed?
I'm going to... Okay, is there a way... There's obviously the air intake in there somewhere, so I'm going to wait a little bit because she said go into the other room and rest, so that it's a little bit clearer, and then I would like to try and open that up so that I can sneak in because somebody's going to die today.
You're going to kill the one who has the information in her head?
I'd like to kill them both, but I don't want to take on two Bene Gesserits alone. Even if I am one, I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Which one will you target first, then, if that's your intent? You know that if the older one may very well possess the voice.
I know. I was thinking about that because if I'm going to wait for a minute until I believe that she said to go in and rest. If she falls asleep, the breathing, if I can hear from there that it's calmed down to a steady cadence that seems like it's actual rest, then I'll go directly and sneak over and try and kill the older one.
That's brave of you.
It is brave,
Yeah.
but it's better than fighting the voice and 2 Bene Gesserits.
You whirled so well. I'm not gonna make you make another stealth roll or anything like that. They're not aware. They're not suspicious that the previous sister was followed or anything. So they were just watchful to make sure that she didn't blurt anything out. It's like, okay, so the other one goes into another room upstairs and lays down. You wait until you can sense that she's almost asleep, and then you slip down the hallway towards the older woman's quarters. Now I need that stealth check.
All right. Duty
And
this
what drive are you using?
This is duty because this is all for the house. If this woman doesn't die, my house is going down. The future of my worm is going down. And I want to re-roll those.
Well, you have benevolence, so you may.
All right. Is it one for both, or?
You can just one for both, sure. I'm generous like that.
Okay, so that's 3 more successes.
Okay, good. That's good. 3 more successes. All right, yeah. So for a total of
4.
4? Right on the money. Perfect.
Oh.
Yeah. So you tread very carefully, and you get right up to the doorway that's somewhat ajar, and you kind of take a peek in, and you see she's rifling through some papers, Redulian crystal sheets. She's making a report, but she's not writing in a traditional way. She is using coded dots that only the Bene Gesserit can read, kind of like Braille, making it out in a certain very meticulous fashion, so that she can issue her report to Chapter House. How do you? She's completely unaware that you're here. How do you want to try to attack her?
I would like to drive my blade directly into her neck.
All right, sexy. This is a Reverend Mother, so she's no easy pickings.
I know.
However, combat is not their forte. So, with a battle of 5, that means your difficulty is going to be set at by default at 3. What same drive as before? Duty, right? Okay, so that's going to be difficulty 4.
Okay.
You need difficulty 4 to dispatch her.
I will be using one of those momentums.
Okay.
If no one minds.
Yes, have some.
And I will.
Wow. It's that kind of evening. Okay. Gonna use that benevolence. Okay.
Determination.
Oh, determination. Okay,
Determination. Give me. Take away the 20.
Sure. So you get 2. That's 3.
And let me roll a d20 to see if I get my determination back. Damn. No, do not get it back.
So you're short 1 for successfully attacking her. So you could re-roll the 19 if you used the last benevolence.
Anybody mind if I burn it to kill off a Reverend Mother with way too much information?
We know it's Mohayim, right?
I mean, I'm 90% sure it's Mohayim. Kill this bitch.
I'll tell you right now, it's not.
Yeah,
well,
okay. Well,
the
still.
Truthsayer doesn't, muck around on
Still,
Arrakis.
benevolence is a renewable resource. Go for it.
Okay.
Let me just change my account name real quick so no one knows it's me.
That makes it. That was a 12. I had to roll 13 or lower.
Wow. Okay. Well done. So, this is a Reverend Mother, not Mohayim, of course, but it is a fight. You drop down on her. She's completely caught unawares, and at the last second, you manage to drive the knife into her throat. However, let's see, complications.
And that was Chris knife with +2 or quality 2.
Oh shit! Yeah, she's super dead. So okay, yeah, you manage to, like, her chair gets knocked over, papers go flying off the desk and stuff. Something cracks and breaks on the floor, but you manage to get her down and cover her mouth and stab her right in the throat, twist it. She's dead. And she just kind of. You hear sounds from the other room, like an old bed, like somebody's getting off of it. Like you hear the springs on the bed as someone is like sitting up or getting out of bed. How do you respond?
So I'm going to try and imitate her voice
Genius.
best as possible, as best as Bene Gesserit possible.
Okay. This is an adept that you're facing, so not as difficult. The adept will have a discipline of 7. Holy shit. Okay,
Dang.
I didn't realize they were that good. So the adept is pretty difficult to fool, but I'm going to give you a bonus for this because it's kind of inspired. So it's going to be difficulty 3 instead of difficulty 4. Same drives as before, I trust. This is or truth, or using truth.
It's going to be truth because I'm straight up lying, but I want her to believe.
Got it. All right, we'll keep it at 3 then. Go ahead and give me 3 successes on a communications roll.
All right, and this is me lying, so I got. I can do that with focus, deceit, and 1 off.
Did you want to spend your last momentum and roll an extra die?
Sure. Give it one final go.
You hear the adept Mother Yasku?
Okay, there we go.
Successes, wow. You see, you respond back with the same voice as the Reverend Mother's, like, yes, child, or whatever it is that you say. Is everything all right?
Yes, the chair broke. It's no worries. Go back to rest.
She takes a few moments, kind of like, you can tell she's like really listening, and like, and you get, it's so quiet up here that you could hear her like breathe a sigh of relief, and like you hear the springs on the bed again as she lays back down to rest. What do you do now? You're in the room with the dead Reverend Mother. The spy you tracked from the palace is in the wind now, but you have information right in front of you.
Oh yeah, I'm looking through the information first. She's going to be going back to sleep, so I have a minute to parse this data.
Absolutely. You can grab it, or you can read it later, whatever. But from just casual, if you're in a rush to get everything and get out, you can tell that this Reverend Mother, like this whole operation, was like a little cell from the Bene Gesserit with agents in Aragine that they regularly communicate with. So it looks like this Reverend Mother and her agents were dispersed here recently, specifically tasked with spying on House Cheshire and the Atreides after the Harkonnens left.
Oh yeah, no, because what's next is I'm going to have to dispatch the one upstairs so that then we can have agents posted up in this building to get rid of anyone who shows up.
Yeah.
So after I spend a little while reading so that she has time to officially relax, go back to bed, if I still have my little comnet thing, so is there a way that I can just upload any of these the crystals onto the comnet? Or
no, it doesn't quite work like that. You can take the crystals, information crystals and stuff like that with you, and they can disseminate it later. Yeah, you can take whatever you want from the scene, and do you spare the adept, or do you task somebody else to take her out, or like what do you want to do with her?
No, quietly, sneakily go up and stab her too.
Same as before. Stealth difficulty 3. Actually, I'll say difficulty 2 because she's already asleep by now.
All right. This
You can
this
just
one's
sort
duty.
of regulate that automatically. Like,
This one's duty because I have to do this.
Okay.
Once again, for the house. If it doesn't happen, things go bad.
A pacifist house, Norma. What are you doing?
Success is
When?
complication.
When has this been a pacifist house? When?
Since the spice agony.
Okay, you're the pacifist.
Well
I'm
said.
the pass a fist.
So yeah, you slink into the chamber while she's asleep, and there is a small complication, however, in the process as you're tussling with the, say you grabbed a garrote and tried to like strangle her in her bed and shit. And you do manage to do that, but not before she can reach over and grab onto something on the nearby desk. And when you look, it's an emergency medallion type thing that when you touch it and you hit the button on it, it sends out like a beacon, essentially like a message. So you've been compromised. Like that's the press this button for panic. If something goes wrong at the safe house, and that's exactly what's happening. So now the Bene Gesserit, other Bene Gesserit agents in the city are aware that this area, this locale has been compromised. What are your next immediate actions?
I've already got all the crystals that I need. I'm booking it.
Booking it out of there. All right,
Mhm.
excellent. Okay.
And you
That's
said
good.
her name. You said Myrma's name was Longinus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Do you report back to Daphne anything?
Oh, the report will go once I.
So you're going radio silence until you get back to the palace.
Oh yeah,
no.
Okay. Yeah, and until I get back, and yeah, if I happen to see said one along the way, then just keep tabs on her as I keep going back. But
Gotcha. Okay, excellent. You head back, and yeah, you'll fill her in later on. Let's see. We'll do one last scene here very quickly before we go on our break. Nadim. Right. The sleek ornithopter descends and arrives quietly atop the villa roof's landing pad. Your pilot gives a salute, disembarks, and awaits your return from the clandestine meeting with the local syndicate. 2 guards wordlessly escort you down a stairwell and leave you to wait in a well-furnished suite with a grand view of Arakeen at night. This happened before everything that's happening currently. Let's see. The villa is located in a part of the city where many entrepreneurs make their home. Unlike other sectors, here business can be conducted via underground tunnels during the day and topside by night. In the case of the Lupos Syndicate, your host requested an evening face-to-face with House Harkonnen's newest spy master on DUNE. You mull this whole situation over in this room that you've been led to, just as a palm lock chimes open. Perfect timing. Radisa, one of the 3 leaders of the syndicate, arrives to discuss the reevaluation of their business relationship with House Harkonnen. They will undoubtedly want something in exchange for all the saboteurs and mercenary you and Iskandar plan to employ. Iskandar, of course, spared no expense, impressed with your previous work in dispatching Vasily. Finally, your chance to prove that you're much more than a living Accubus is at hand. The door opens to reveal a feminine figure, donning garments that show an unusual sense of style. A dark blue Ixian Sibus hood beneath a colorful and intricate crimson wrap. Clearly, the syndicate leaders enjoy a good bit of anonymity, predictable given their hazardous profession. She greets you and gestures to a suspensor chair, places and activates a cone of silence nearby at a table. Second, let me show you what Radisa looks like. You must be the Harkonnen agent I've been told was coming. I'm Radisa. Please make yourself comfortable, and I must say, after dealing with Raban's people for years, this is a nice change of pace for us. What can we do for House Harkonnen?
Well, it's a light compliment to be compared to Raban, but I appreciate it. I sit down in the chair with my dog.
Cute dog, she says.
Thank you. It's been in the family for quite a while.
You reach into your pocket and hand her the Shiga wire strand, this tiny strand of silica, and she takes it, puts it in a device, and it displays like a message from Iskandar. It basically just says, like, this is what we're planning on doing. He keeps it very vague, but says, hey, we're willing to work with you, etc. It snaps into place and springs to life. It's a monochromatic three-dimensional projector of Iskandar, and his short message conveys how House Harkonnen needs to utilize the Syndicate's forces to handle a delicate internal matter that cannot be traced back to his side of the family. And in exchange, they are promised millions of Solaris to cover travel expenses, weaponry, etc. And to coordinate these efforts from Arrakis, he offers you as the House Harkonnen liaison to the Syndicate. She looks at it and says, okay. Well, a dangerous proposition, she says as she turns off the device. We are not above such aggression. As long as the flow of Solaris continues from our coffers and into your coffers into ours, we will continue to provide the right kind of people for the right kind of job. I will need to consult with the remaining leadership before we can convene on a vote, however. I am liking what I'm hearing. Can I interest you in some fine Caledonian wine? He says.
Certainly.
She reaches over and pours you both a drink. The dog just kind of like ruff, barks a little bit and pants. Strangely,
Yes,
the
I don't know how to stop it from doing that.
The palm lock on the door chimes again, and this time she kind of looks back like this. And it's like, oh yes, and she like grabs the strand and gives it to a servant who has like a cushion or something like that. Places it on there, and they bow and turn around. And she makes small talk with you. Are you like trying to glean any information from her, or are you trying to just play cool, or?
Well, let me see here. Yeah, she said they have to like take a vote or something like that. So can I get a sense of how inclined she is to actually take this deal?
Sure. You can roll understand if you have anything on like criminal organizations or anything like that. That counts as a focus. You'll be rolling 2 dice. Extra if you want to give me threat because you're currently out of momentum. In which case you can roll more than 2.
I guess I have deductive reasoning, and I've got a understand talent called calculated prediction.
I'll allow the focus. Okay, yeah.
2
successes or more will garner some information regarding a criminal syndicate such as this.
All right, and then I have to give a drive as well.
Yes. In this particular case, you could say, "Oh, I'm using truth to find out information," or "This is part of my job." to the house or to Iskandar. So maybe this is about power. It's up to you.
Yeah, no, truth works. I'm good at that. 2 dice. I have a focus. Okay.
Your success is right on the money.
Oh, there
So
we
yeah,
go.
she says there's other leadership involved with the Lupo Syndicate. You heard tell that there's 3 in particular. She makes up one of them. So it seems that they have some sort of a thing going where none of them can make decisions that affect everybody else. They have to take like a vote on it, essentially. So this triad is necessary in order for motions to be put forward and actions to be taken on behalf of the organization. These guys work in all manner of different things within the Imperial Basin. Guns, Samuda. This is probably, you suspect, where Iskandar gets his hookup, because as you already are familiar, your brother is addicted to both spice and Samuda, which are very expensive habits to have. So you suspect that the syndicate functions on that level for him as well.
Well, how long do you think it'll be until your partners convene?
It won't be long. I'll call for a meeting by the end of this week. Shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. I think that this can definitely bear fruit. This partnership, this new reevaluation. It's interesting because I thought that the Baron was only interested in dealing with the Atreides directly. I didn't realize that there were internal dissidents within House Harkonnen. This is very intriguing.
Well, it is what it is.
Indeed.
But more
Things are
importantly,
glass.
I'm the one who's on Arrakis, not my brother.
Oh, he's your brother. I was not aware. We do enjoy his Solaris. And undoubtedly we will enjoy much more after this meeting is adjourned, after we take our vote. I'm sure the others will see the incentive in taking your offer. Just then the door chimes yet again. And this time it's the same woman that came in before who took the thread of the message. Wes, what is it now? He says, annoyed. The servant doesn't say anything. The silence field is still up, so she turns it off. I'm talking to you, she says. What is it now? The servant produces a Mala pistol, proceeds to aim it at her head, and fires, silently. Radisa falls over dead. And then she trains the weapon on you, surprised to see you here in this room, even though she was just here moments ago. She steps forward, raises the weapon, and her face flutters just a little bit. And that's where we'll stop for our mid-show break. Based answers.
Eric,
Right
these
back in 10 minutes,
cliffhangers are
everyone.
killer.
Thank you. And we have returned. When we last left off, Nadim Harkonnen came face to face with a face dancer assassin who just eliminated the one of the 3 heads of a syndicate he was meeting with this evening. Before the face dancer trained the same weapon onto him. You have seconds to decide what it is that you're going to do, Nadim, before the face dancer sees you as an obstacle that it needs to eliminate, along with the head of the syndicate. What would you like to do?
Well, I'll get ready to activate my personal shield. And I'll kind of hold the dog, like interpose it between me and the gun. Sure. And I'll say, it's not, I mean, I'm not going to hurt an animal, but, you know, I'm also me.
You realize this is a Tleilaxu assassin. You were conditioned by the Tleilaxu on Bene Tleilax to become a twisted mentat. You know of their language. You could conceivably try to communicate with it, or you could take action and switch on the shield, get behind cover, etc.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna try to talk to it. That's my plan. I was just, you know, preparing myself for it not to be receptive to that.
Gotcha. Caution before anything else. You switch on the shield and the blue light just.
Right. If I turn the shield on now, it might just start firing. So who knows? I say, well, it seems that we're both on the same side then.
You speak in its language and it stops. It stops short of pulling the trigger on you. Inclines its head. You speak the prophet's language. Who are you?
I'm Nadim Harkonnen. I'm also a product of their work.
Harkonnen, he says, almost sneering.
I get that a lot.
You realize that you cannot be here. And I cannot allow you to live because you've seen what I'm able to do. You've intervened in my mission.
Well, I'm sure your mission continues, and with that I can help.
You're going to need a impressive communication score because you're up against the faith of a zealot.
Okay, well, communication, that's something I'm just fantastic at.
Let's see. What are you using as your drive to try to appeal to this heartless assassin?
Well, I'm trying to convince it that
you're on the same side.
Yeah, sorry.
That you're on the same side.
Right. I'm trying to convince it that that it's wrong and that I'm right. That my driving drive is truth, which is I decide what is true.
Okay.
Communicate. I do not have a focus in that. Let's see here. Can I give you some threat or something to get extra dice?
You can.
All right.
Same amount for as in momentum. So if you spend 1, you get 1. If you spend 3, you get 2, and so on.
Okay, so I'll spend 1 to get 1.
Okay.
See what happens there, I guess. No focus.
Let me before you roll.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. You rolled 3. Let's see, 1 second here. Just need to get a sheet. There we go. Face dancer. Yeah, face dancers. That looks like this.
Do you have any appropriate focuses? Because you rolled.
Communicate, unsurprisingly, is my very worst stat.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah,
you did really well.
That's the one stat I have no focuses in at all.
Here we are. 7. Discipline. Discipline of 5, so that puts it at. Means difficulty 2 increased to 3. So actually, you hit it right on the money. You're like, hey, we're on the same side. No need to, target me.
Right. I am also an abominable, terrible creature created by flesh-shaping freaks.
Oh.
I don't say that part out loud. I just think
Yeah,
that.
of course. What's interesting about this face dancer is that normally, unless you really appeal to them on some religious level, they just do away with you, and that would be it. But he said that, hey, we're on the same side, and it's like, who do you receive your orders from?
Truly?
Truly.
Well, the prophets, of course.
And then you see something that you didn't expect. It's like the prophet was a lie. If you were on my side, you would have known that. The true light, the true revealer was here on Arrakis the whole time. Raises the gun right back at you. But he doesn't, they don't do so in a threatening manner, more like to just kind of like prompt you to say something else.
Tell me more about this true prophet.
Okay. Let's see.
It's like, oh, a religious guy? Let's just get him talking about his religion. That'll waste some time.
Right. Is your aim to try to like delay him until the guards arrive or something?
I guess every second he talks, I'm still alive, so that's a win.
Okay, fair enough. You're like you kind of they pique your curiosity. You've never heard a face dancer speak like this before. What he just said, they just said it was considered blasphemous, and they would be put to death back on Tylax and any of the cities like Bandalong or anything like that. So this is a first for you. This is not your ordinary face dancer. And he's like, I'm here to do the duty of the real prophet. The one who would put the road and pave the way for the revealer to come, the harbinger here on Arrakis. They say he's already among us. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? You being Harkonnen.
Is that a question?
No, it wasn't. You're coming with me. Or I kill you and take the dog. How will it be? He says, how will it be, brother?
Well, you've intrigued me. I mean, I would like to learn more about what you're telling me about this prophet and this truth. I would not like to think that I've been living a lie. If the true prophet is here on Arrakis, then how could I refuse going with you? I insist.
Really laying it on. All right. He's like, help me with the body.
Okay, I put the dog down.
It's just barking incessantly, like. They, as you're grabbing the body, the face dancer's like, I saw the ornithopter on top of the building. You can load her onto it and leave quietly. My friend will be along shortly to replace her, he says.
Okay. But she's only one of 3.
Yes. One is all we need for now.
Well, perhaps I could help you get closer to the other two.
Perhaps so. You intrigue me, Harkonnen.
Well,
You
you
get me out
intrigued
of
me
this.
too.
It's like if you help me get out of this situation with my quarry intact, then to confirm my kill, then I may consider your offer.
Certainly. I don't know why you'd need my help, though. Couldn't you simply, I don't know, kill me, look like me, and walk out of here?
Could. You haven't given me reason to do so yet.
All right. Well, I'll help the assassin with the body. That's within my wheelhouse.
Sure. Grab one and he grabs the other. There's like a little window that is seemingly open. He opens it up and it has like a little not like a fire escape, but like there's like a ledge. Hoists the body over the side of his shoulder, and he walks out onto the balcony. You first, of course, with the Mala pistol at your back.
Okay.
You're good at moving, I trust?
Is he asking?
Otherwise, it's several stories down.
I mean, no, I mean, not particularly.
Well, time to get good. Give me a difficulty 3 movement test. One thing you can do, if you have a point of determination that you haven't spent yet, you can, after you roll, it'll turn a failure or a 1 success into 2 successes.
I don't think I have determination. I don't know. I don't have any marked down.
Oh, most assuredly you do. Everybody starts a session with a 1 point of determination.
Okay.
Yeah. There are different ways you can get it, but yeah.
All right, so I will spend a point of determination. And what does that do? Give me an extra die or something?
No, it just turns one of the 2 dice that you roll into an automatic 1. So
Okay.
it allows you to get like 2 successes automatically. You can do a lot of other things too, but in this particular case, you want to get 3 successes. So go ahead and make a move test, and yeah, you can spend your determination to.
All
And
right.
also, you have a benevolence if you wish to re-roll any of the dice that you roll.
Yeah, I'm sure this will be terrible. So just pick a drive. I'll stick with truth, I guess, because that's what I've been using. Determination. All right, so I'm just rolling 2 dice.
Yeah.
All
Unless
right.
you're wanting to purchase threat or anything like that. Which case,
No, I guess not. My only focus is stealth for move.
That's good. Perfect.
Oh yeah, okay. So I'll use that, and there we go. All right,
Oof.
so I spend a determination to turn that 0 into a 1.
You get 3 successes right on the money once again. So you shimmy, like you're by yourself, you know, like on the ledge, like shimmying across, and then like you find some handholds, and you're climbing up the side of the building until you get to the edge where like your ornithopter pilot was waiting for you. Unbeknownst to everybody there, like you like slink up to the edge right where the landing pad is. The assassin follows suit as well, with your dog too.
Oh, good. That's great.
Yeah, so he kind of puts like a blade in his teeth, clambers up the side of the building, lays down the body quietly, and then hands the dog to you. And then the face changes to appear like a guard that you'd seen previously in the complex, and he sort of leads you to your ornithopter. He motions to you using the whistling like language of the Tleilaxu. Get rid of your guard. We won't be needing him. I could fly a thopter.
Certainly. All right, I tell my guard to take off.
Just to leave, like on foot.
Yeah, I'm a Harkonnen.
Get lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I tell him to do all kinds
Fuck
of
outta here.
worse shit than that.
You pissed on my Cheerios this morning. Get out of here.
Yeah, so you tell him to get lost. It's just you up here with the assassin and the dead body, and your dog, of course. He opens up the back bay, clears out some of the seats, puts the Radisa's dead body in there, locks it up, and then uses a communication device of some sort and speaks in their coded language, presumably for the other assassin to slip in and take the place of Radisa. He gestures towards the empty seat on the ornithopter on the front. I'm ready to fly if you are.
I hope so. I'm a bit rusty.
All right. You see, just as you're getting in, you switch on the things on the ornithopter, and he hooks up some sort of a communication device to the interface, and he starts tuning it like a radio, puts an earpiece in, and listens in. And as you guys head out, you guys are flying out over the Imperial Basin, heading out towards the desert, which you did not expect. Partway there, though, as the sun is rising, some communication chatter comes in over the comm that only the face dancer can hear. The face ripples for a second and says, "Seems we might be taking a bit of a detour." Then whips the ornithopter back around towards the Imperial Basin, but not towards Arakeen, but to Carthag. Is there anything that Nadim says or does prior to the ornithopter heading that way?
I say, Carthag, lovely town.
Yes,
Been quite a
also
while
known-
since I've been there.
It's like the Harkonnens have cleared that city recently, but there are new inhabitants moving in, allies, you can say.
Not Fremen, I hope.
He kind of eyes you when you say that. You may want to watch your tongue from here on out, Harkonnen. And he's like, and please
Fremen.
lose the uniform. He says, looking at your, like, I'm assuming you're wearing like a Harkonnen uniform of some kind.
Yeah, basically
like-
black bad guy outfit.
Like, yeah, you may be Harkonnen, but the Harkonnens are not loved, even in places such as Carthag.
I'm well aware.
Good. It's like that sort of awareness may save your life. He guides the ornithopter, and he seems to be headed towards the Harkonnen Palace on Carthag, which is where we'll switch to Daphne. So, let's see. You are all packed up, and you boarded the ornithopters with Mossam and the rest of the entourage, headed out to Carthag. You arrived in the early morning times, and
So-
you are received at the palace landing pad, and they kind of ushered you in. You can take your time, you can do whatever you want once you get there.
I need to have a talk with Masum.
He seems to be just looking out the window the whole time, the trip, admiring Dune as it is. Yes, what do you want to talk to me about?
I need to have a very adult conversation with you.
Was that written by Doreen?
As long as I can be considered an adult, then yes.
Okay.
Yes, of course. It has to do...
Meaning, of course, I don't want you to talk down to me. If we're going to have an adult conversation, it's kind of like he's conveying.
Daphne is slightly offended because she has never talked down to him once ever. But you know what?
No,
It's
but
fine.
everyone else does.
It's fine. He's asserting his independence. That's fine. Well, we need to talk about what happens to Kyra's assets. Theoretically and legally, the assets of House Iasi would go to me, but I wanted to offer them to you.
Why?
Because you were also her child.
I'm also the Emperor's child.
That is what makes this conversation very complicated. But to be perfectly honest, I feel like you have more of a moral right to Iasi than I do. And
Squirrel.
I want you to have an option. I want you to have an alternate. I want you to have something you can do rather than just be the Emperor's son.
I don't want any of those things. You know that. If it'll help you, then it belongs to you. It would be better suited in your hands,
Wow.
would it not?
Well, I'm willing to teach you. I know that Kyra taught you a lot in your time together. As far as House Iasi goes, it is mostly machinery, equipment, land. There are no people, which might make it easier on you. On the other hand, if you accepted, you would... Well, we would have to prove your claim before the Lansrod. You would become involved in Lansrod politics as head of a house. I know that's not something that you want, but this is the position we're both in.
I see. He knows nothing, by the way, of Leto's resolution and like this effort against his father.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to tell him about that. That's gonna be fun.
Oh boy. Yeah, so he's just kind of like, what is this about? Like, I don't want it. Why would you offer it to me? Why
Well-
not? And he almost says Alicia, and he's like,
I'll let you know my plan. I always wanted to offer this to you. My plan originally was, regardless of your answer, to hold it in trust for you and ask again when you reached your age of majority. And if you turned it down, I would probably ask again, every few years or so, until my son became an adult, and then I would offer it to him.
I don't remember if you told Massam you were pregnant.
I did.
Last
I
info.
did.
All right.
Uh,
I don't know
But-
what to say. I thank you for your consideration.
I have another important question for you.
Of course.
Your father. Do you think he's doing a good job where he is as emperor?
He looks around to see if the captain of the Sadakar nearby. They overhear his answer.
Oh,
They're not. I'm assuming
Daphne
this is a
would have
private
chosen this conversation. Yeah, she doesn't have a dampener, but she knows how to look for eavesdroppers.
conversation. Yeah, he's just like, no one can anyone approves of my father's work, and if they do, then if they say they do, then they have motives to say those things.
Yeah, something like whatever. I'm just gonna fucking kick
what? Yeah, I know, that's Bob in the background. For some reason, my crisp isn't working tonight. I have no idea. I might need to reset it. Tommaso, if there was a way to remove him from the throne that wouldn't kill him, what would you think?
I don't know. Let's be ironic.
Oh,
Out in a sleet storm and do cold damage. Dex saving throw
Yes.
against.
This is what Mother wanted, is it? This is how she planned to remake the Imperium.
We are our parents' children, but we are also our own people. There's a plan.
Well then, I'm telling
There's a plan. It's a highly political one,
It does 8.
and I won't tell you any more
Instead of
details
7.
unless you want to know what they are. But to replace your father with a council. And this,
He seems troubled,
it's not
visibly.
going to kill him. Well,
That's not what I'm worried about.
Oh, interesting.
what are you worried about?
Yeah,
Until
20 foot.
recently, I thought my entire world, my entire family was
That's a
Cairo
20-foot cone? Jeez.
And then I met
okay.
you.
No,
and Alicia.
thank you. Thank you for that.
And it wasn't until I went back to Kaitane that I realized I had 5 other siblings.
You do?
What happens to them if Shaddam is deposed?
Or half-
Well,
half
your siblings are all sisters. That's pretty well known. They have Bene Gesserit training. They are... I don't want to say that they are valuable people, but they are valuable people. No one will want to see them executed.
Is that something that we can... you can promise me that will happen?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have the personal power
Yeah, I don't know
to
that I
ensure
have.
that that happens, but I will leverage as much as I possibly can.
I don't want any more of my family dying.
That's, oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
I
If
understand.
that means Irulan and the others, I don't...
Well, they all failed.
I don't know
Hurrah!
if I can take it.
Frozen meats.
If the Emperor goes willingly, if he gives up, I imagine these women will, at the very least, the
Yeah,
Bene
I can
Gesserit
follow.
will ensure that they live out the rest of their days in comfort and dignity.
I'll have to think about it. If we can at least ensure that they won't suffer whatever fate awaits my father, then yes, I will
My-
support this plan of yours.
Me too.
My ideal end is for your father to find a comfortable exile somewhere.
I think we can just
That's
walk
what I would
away.
hope for him. Somewhere secure, but where all of his needs are met. And he can find something worthwhile to do with the rest of his days.
You know, you seem to have kind of placated any worry in him. Obviously, this is just temporary for when it actually goes down or what have you, but yeah, you seem to have, like, smoothed him over with your words. Just then, there's a knock at the door. The Tiberii have arrived. 3 of them. They bring news, it seems, from Sihaya Tabir. Trailing behind them is a recently harried Norma.
Conky, it's good to see you again.
It's a pleasure, Duchess.
Masa just kind of sees Tonki come in and is like, okay, I mean, you know, you have business, and he excuses himself.
Oh, hi, Mossum.
Hello. Thank you for having that conversation with me, sister. I'm told
We'll
some other time,
talk more later, and if your thoughts change, I'm always here.
of course. He bows and he curtsies and, you know, moves himself out of the room, and the rest of you enter the room in exchange. Welcome to Casa de Harkonnen here in Carthage.
Oh,
Who would like to go first to deliver the bad news?
it's Casa de Cheshire now.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say it's Casa de Cheshire until we've officially gone and gotten rid of all the rats.
I assume security has been doing a sweep, but it wouldn't hurt to order one more.
Especially considering the Bene Gesserit have knowledge of what is going on Arrakis. I'm presuming everyone else is gone, so it's just, you know, I back to Norma for a moment.
Yeah.
And you have dots, right?
I do.
Okay.
That's how I
so
communicated with Masa when he was on Kaitane.
I slide some of the Redulian crystals over so that you can kind of get a brief overview as I say, Myrma is not Myrma.
What is Myrma?
A spy for the Bene Gesserits, named Longinus.
Did they make the switch before or after she received all of Kyra's memories?
After. I've dealt with it for the moment, but she is still alive,
The fake Myrma.
with all the information.
Oh,
So,
the central. Actually, not
if
bad.
if not before, if not prior to this, this would be the opportune moment to have the Tiberii either be addressed or show up, however you want to do it.
They enter the room with jazz hands. It's fine. They just kind of glide into the room.
all right. Do you have any news, Tiberius?
Out of character, I'm just telling you about the whole events that happened in the siege.
Yeah, you can. The thing that Tiberius does not know is that Zoshir is descended from Harkonnens. So what they
Okay.
will know is that Hassak, a very religious rival leader, a Naib in his own right, has accused Zoshir of being a Harkonnen, and this is information that he gleaned from Myrma, who is now in the wind.
Dust in the wind, one would hope.
Not yet.
The Sardaukar that the siege had contained escaped, killed one of the Fremen, and then was dispatched.
Which one?
The only captive.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, there's more?
There's only one.
I thought you were saying which one of which Fremen.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, which
That was
Fremen? Which
cold
Fremen died?
blooded.
That's what she cares about.
Nalia. Who's Nalia?
I knew her. That's awful. How is Zoshir?
Injured.
Badly, or will he recover?
Recovery if he rests.
I'm gonna have to go see him. He's not going to rest.
And another issue, he was accused of being a Harkonnen.
At that, you may have to make a discipline roll, Daphne.
No, she's just gonna laugh.
Oh, I see.
I thought that was also Rachel.
That's the most ridiculous. No, that's pure roleplay. That's the most ridiculous accusation I've ever heard.
Supposedly there's evidence.
Well, who is the one who said it?
All right,
What's his name again?
Myrma.
so
Oh.
the Baron,
Hasaku made the accusation, but Myrma had the information.
Saku by way of Myrma.
who is not Myrma anymore, and therefore prone to spreading dissension, although you think she could have come up with a better lie. The Baron isn't likely to have another child ever for the rest of his life, and I suppose Rabad might have done something terrible to a Fremen woman, but that's also extremely unlikely. Fade Routha has never been to Arrakis.
I'm unsure on more details than that, but I will keep a watchful eye and a listening ear.
Where is Myrma, by the way?
Escaped. The Ornithopter. The Fremen are in pursuit.
For the first time, you see Conky not smiling.
Just then, Security Commander Hajan chimes into your earpiece, Daphne, with a security update. We
Yes.
have guests. Yes, we have guests here from the Fremen. They say that they have a Harkonnen captive with them, and that they wish to bring them to your
Harry, you take
attention.
this one. Horses hate me for some reason.
We can host them in the dungeons beneath the palace. The Harkonnens have made suitable room down there for their captives, if you wish for them to do so.
Why would we send Fremen to the dungeons?
It's not a Fremen that they're bringing. It's a
Such a good
Harkonnen.
horse doctor.
Oh, so they have a Harkonnen captive.
Correct.
Is Oshir trying to sneak into the palace in some very weird way? Give them all water. I'll be right there to inspect this Harkonnen captive.
It should be noted, Your Grace, that the methods by which this agent of the Fremen communicated with us is linked to Kyra and her adherents.
What do you mean by that?
It is my understanding that this agent had communication with the Fremen in their siege at Sahaya Tabir, and well, they seem to know you and to have some method of alliance.
All
They
right.
have someone to bring to your attention, it seems.
Lead them to a secure room. Give them water and hospitality, but keep a very close watch on them. I'll be there as soon as I can.
As you will, Your Grace. Honky, you probably have the same information piped into your earpiece as well from the security commander, so you're also aware of what's going on. How would you like to proceed?
Alright. I can assure you, Zoshir is the gentlest Fremen I've ever met. I sincerely doubt he has any Harkonnen ancestry. I'm sure it's a rumor. I'll dig through the archives, see what I can find, but for now, take him as the sum of his deeds, and nothing more.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Of course, Your Grace.
Yeah,
They-
Tiberia, I will nod.
The face dancer leads you into this secretive back way into the Harkonnen Palace of Carthag, and down a very low-lit series of stairs that go into these dungeons. He takes you to this room, and inside, there's nobody there. He opens it up, and gestures for you to walk in with your dog.
Some brilliant tactical insight.
I am bringing Conky with me. And however many people John wants to lend me from security detail.
I did think we should have spoken.
Yeah, you have an entire security detail coming with you down to the bowels of the palace. You're met with someone who looks like a guard that you just saw earlier in the palace. So finally, when you arrive, you see somebody sitting inside the room with a dog on their side. There's a little yappy dog. You're a little confused. He kind of looks like a Harkonnen. Go ahead and describe your character, Nadim.
I'm a kind of in my 40s. Well, I don't know. Not. I look. My apparent age is in my 40s. I have a reddish beard, a bald head. I'm kind of barrel-chested and large. I don't know what I'm wearing now, but I was wearing kind of, typical Harkonnen all black.
Black with red piping, something like that. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if they took away my weapons and stuff, but
presumably they would have. Yeah, they would have asked for your weapons before they even brought you down here.
okay. So they would have gotten my Chris knife and my personal shield.
Yeah, actually, when when you produced the Chris knife, he just Face just kind of looks at it and looks at you. Like, how the fuck did you get that?
So is he asking me that?
No, he just kind of looks at you like.
Oh yeah, I'm not forthcoming with any answers.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting anything. But he brings you in, like, we found this on him, Your Grace. And you see, as you get close, Norma, this is 100% a face dancer. That much you can tell upon close scrutiny. But it's not one of the Tleilaxu's face dancer. It's one of Cairo's.
Who's the face
See
dancer?
whatever questions you have. The person standing in front of, in the room with in supposed some sort of a guard uniform. They're not one of yours, it's one of Kyra's.
Alright, so, Daphne dresses like an imperial noblewoman and carries herself like someone with a Bene Gesserit education, but also has her own Chris knife and has the blue on blue eyes.
Norma walks in with her long white hair, peppy attitude, and seems like she's in her, 30s and is just way, way too chipper for everything going on.
Alright. Who's going to be the first to tell me what's going on?
The face dancer glances at Nadim, doesn't get a response immediately, then offers himself to be the first. I was carrying out a mission as designed by the master. And when he says this, you recognize what he's referring to. That's the name that Kyra used as a nom de guerre on her time here on Arrakis, as she was accumulating her power base, so to speak. It had to deal with some criminal organizations who were infiltrating as part of our mission. But then I came upon someone unexpected, Harkonnen. He gestures to the man sitting down across from you. It's like, supposedly here on business to do business with the very syndicate that I was tasked to eliminate. And it was part of a two-step process, as part of our infiltration into that organization and its other rival, the Kitseki Syndicate. This Harkonnen intrigued me. He didn't seem to be here on the business of the Baron, and yet he has he claims to have a similar agenda. I thought to shoot him and take his dog. I also thought to drop him off for the Atreides forces to scoop up, as they're actively scouring all of Arrakeen for his type. But I thought perhaps it would be wise to bring him to your attention first, Your Grace.
Alright. A Harkonnen left behind on Arrakis. Your family must love you very much.
Is it my time to speak?
I suppose it
Face
is.
gestures like, please, please do.
Oh, I've just arrived on Arrakis. I was not left behind.
Your family must love you very much.
We're not quite fond of each other, but I think that's quite common in the universe.
Oh, I think you'll find family means something very, very different than what I expect you're used to. But that's neither here nor there. Might I have your name, sir?
Nadim. And of course you know my last name.
All right. I am Lady Daphne Cheshire. Pleased to meet you.
A pleasure, my lady.
So, what brings a Harkonnen to Arrakis after the Harkonnen are supposed to have left Arrakis?
Oh, distasteful family business.
And yet, everyone in your family should no longer be here. Are you cleaning up a few last-minute messes?
The reverse. No, I'm making some new ones.
Making some new ones. For whom?
Well, I mean, I probably shouldn't say, but for our mutual friends.
Away from the body of the camp.
I'm trying
False camp
to figure out what mutual friends I have with a Harkonnen.
There you go.
In a line, not in a way, not in a circle, because then they can triangulate position.
Interesting.
Lead them away by speed and ability.
So, what is it exactly you're here to accomplish?
Well,
Scouts.
I guess. Well, that's quite of an open-ended question. What was I sent here to do, or what do I plan to do?
Yes!
Well, I suppose I'm more interested in your direct plans at the moment.
Well, before your friend assassinated the syndicate head I was speaking with, my plan was to take over the syndicate here in Arrakis.
To what end?
Oh, to advance my personal ambitions.
And what personal ambitions would those be?
Well, my family has quite a failure of leadership for quite a long time. Wouldn't you agree?
I will say that the Baron's situation will lead to instability in the future.
Yes, my uncle can be quite a pain.
I see. Well, that's an interesting proposition.
Oh, I wasn't making any propositions, but feel free to jump to any conclusions you'd wish. But fortunately, because of my Mentat training, I was able to communicate with your face dancing friend. And here we are.
Ah, you've Mentat training.
Unfortunately, yes.
What a shame. You know, I had a very loyal, very cunning Mentat. Was part of my household for quite some time.
They do not live long.
No, especially when they come into contact with Harkonnen.
Exactly. So you see my situation.
So Harkonnen kill my first Mentat and present me with another.
No, I'm not presenting you with anything of the sort. I do not wish to be a Mentat. As I said, I have Mentat training, but it is not my preference.
Many of us end up in life circumstances we don't wish.
Yes, we do.
I mean, I'm sure my aunt would have preferred a life outside the guild, but...
Yes. If there was only something we could do to forge our own course in things.
If only. Do you have any other relatives? on Arrakis. And Daphne will use her training to be like, do you? Mostly because she just learned the thing about Sashir.
Not that I'm aware of. It's been a very long time since I've been on Arrakis.
As I understand it, the Baron has left. Raban
Yes.
has left.
Correct.
Any other stray cousins?
Well, I'm certain Vasily is in here, but the others I haven't really seen recently. But as far as I know, I'm the only Harkonnen on Arrakis.
I hear the dulcet tones of Constance.
I mean, my dog. But we're the whole of the house on the planet at the moment.
I would not dare call your dog Harkonnen.
I'd call him Barkonen.
Apropos of nothing, Constance, I do have.
Take a point of advancement, please.
I was literally typing it in the Twitch chat as you
Wow.
said it. I'm so mad.
I just want to say Drea got there first. The dog's name is Padam Barkonen.
She got there like an hour ago. Yeah, so Daphne turns to Norma. Well, we have a Harkonnen Mentat. After the Harkonnens killed our Mentat. Rest in peace, Pardo Reed. Who, to all appearances, has a goal I can't disagree with. What are your thoughts?
Are you asking me again?
Oh, no, I'm consulting with my advisor. But I'm also interested in your thoughts after we're done talking with her.
Well, I'm not gonna say to look a gift horse in the mouth, especially when Harkonnens really do hate each other.
So, who would be assuming house leadership if your best wishes come true?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't really see anyone better suited for the position than me, but, you know, that's strictly hypothetical. I have a brother, but, I don't think he's very well suited for leading things. And once I control everything that he's addicted to, then it'll be much easier to shove him out of the way.
Ah. Well, I suppose with you here, you can control his access to Melange.
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't think I need to say it out loud. You're obviously very intelligent. You know exactly where I'm going with this.
I've been around the block a few times as far as the Imperium is concerned.
Can I ask how your old Mentat was killed?
I don't know. I wasn't there, but they made sure we'd find his body very publicly arranged. I don't suppose you know anything about that?
No. I was just curious if it was, gruesome or poison or, some of those lines. Just to keep my eyes out.
I
I'd like
was spared having to look on his remains. I am told it was more along the lines of gruesome.
Ah. Well, very well. Then I assume that was probably Raban.
I'm sorry?
Then I assume that was probably Raban.
What if it was on Getty Prime?
Oh, that's quite important.
Then who would it
Based.
be?
The face dancer pardons the interruptions. Like I think I may have misjudged this as an opportunity, my lady. I apologize if I have wasted your time. It's like I thought perhaps bringing you this Harkonnen, you may know what to do with him. Should I dispose of him or take him to the Atreides? Perhaps to leave him in the desert to die? Or should I Hulu to claim him?
I don't think we should leave him in the desert to die. If we're going to do it that way, I'd deliver him to Zoshir, his long-lost cousin, to do with his water as he will.
Found this on him, like holds a crysknife. You know that the Harkonnens put bounties on crysknives, worth about 1,000,000 Solaris each.
How did you get that?
The usual way.
So Daphne looks to her own crysknife. So your betrothed gave it to you?
I am single.
So you became a friend of a siege?
No, I killed a Fremen in a duel.
Do you know their name?
I do not.
What happened to the body afterward?
I am unaware. Fremen, at least when we were running our Arrakis, Fremen were not a very talkative people, so we didn't have much of a conversation before the fight began.
Can I suggest a dramatic beam that out of the forest covered in sap and
I see.
comes out of stuck past them, just grunting. Why the fuck are we still here?
What an interesting puzzle you've given me.
He apologizes again, like I did not mean to burden the offspring of the prophet with this. Perhaps he might have more information that he can provide you a service, perhaps. He seemed to be inclined to want to dispose of the syndicate heads. That was our mission.
Is that what we're
Eliminate
calling
some-
her now?
Well, that's what Kyra's adherents call her.
No, Daphne will say that out loud.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chris. Has no answer.
See, the base answers like we were tasked to eliminate some of the heads of these syndicates and infiltrate them, taking their place, providing arms and equipment and resources to her.
I see. Alright. To make sure I have a full picture. You're infiltrating criminal elements on Arrakis in Kyra's name, and you just found this Harkonnen.
Yes.
Who's ordering you to do this?
Kyra was, of course.
From her mouth or Myrma's?
No, we do not take orders from Myrma.
That's good.
Sayadina certainly, but
She
We
isn't
take
even that
orders from-
anymore.
we take
Anyone.
orders from the master. That's what
Anyone you meet with Myrma's face is compromised.
I see. I was unaware.
What are your thoughts then? And this time she addresses the face dancer.
I'm unsure. This one did not fight me. And I don't seem to be. For Harkonnen, he doesn't lie, or if he does, he's an exceptional one. I could not detect any falsity in what he said. I know that you trade in lies and truth simultaneously at times. But perhaps he might have information, or he could serve you in some manner. I too thought that perhaps he may have been abandoned by his family, which can make them potentially an obligation to them and a benefit to you and your house. perhaps I was wrong. And if so, then my apologies.
No, I don't think you were wrong. So do I need to make any sort of roll to, essentially, like, read body language for Nadim to tell if he's lying or not?
I would have to be a contested test.
Okay.
So if anything Nadim tells anybody in the room while you're present, you have to roll communication to set up the difficulty, and then you would roll discipline. Any sort of notice, focus would come into play, and if you meet or exceed his successes, you'd be able to tell he's lying, and if you don't, then you don't.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Would I be able to join in on that one? Since I'm also in the
Sure,
room?
you can assist. Absolutely.
All right. Okay, assist is only one die, right?
Yes.
All right, so
Okay.
you've made a roll communicate.
Yeah, make it a communication roll.
Okay.
And then just to bring up the rear here.
All right. No focuses. So there we go. Easy.
Okay. Alright, so now I make my roll.
Yeah.
God
Why did you? Oh, okay.
Oh, I threw my log.
That-
Nadim rolled one success. Yeah. Conky already got you with the one success, but yeah, you can go ahead and see if you get more for momentum, for purposes of momentum.
Alright, I'm gonna use truth.
No. No.
I have a focus in body language.
Yeah, that'll apply.
2 dice I'm rolling?
Chris is right there with
Yeah.
you. No.
Okay.
You're leading the roll, so you roll 2, and she assists, so she rolls 1. So that's 3 successes to 1, so you get 2 momentum out of that. You read him. He's not difficult to read at all. He's not lying to you. He's very good and very careful with his words. If anything.
Alright. Well, what happens, Mr. Harkonnen?
Let's start this one.
Sir
Please.
Harkonnen, what's your title?
Nadim.
Nadim.
My title? Well, I mean, Spy Master, but I don't usually have people call me that.
Keep it in
Fair enough. It's a bad spy master who everyone knows is the spy master. What happens if I let you go?
Sorry.
That seems to work for the Atreides, though. They have quite a famous one. What happens if you let me go? Well, perhaps I could tag along with your face dancer friend, and we could continue eliminating these syndicate people. We could come to some kind of arrangement about how to best use them.
Do you know in whose name my face dancer friend acts?
We'll get him next
The
time.
true prophet who lives on Arrakis?
Just throw hammers and
Yes.
stones. Say.
Can I try to ascertain who he's talking about now that I've
Yep.
sat around with them with calculated prediction?
You can make an understand roll, and you can use one of your focuses on that. Sure. It would be if you get 2 or more, depending on how well you roll, you'll get something. Otherwise, it'll be kind of like, oh, you the naughty thing. It's not on guy.
All right, I will give you some threat for an extra die.
Ooh, sure.
And let's see here, all right, and because I gave you threat, I can use bold with understanding to re-roll a single d20 in the pool.
Excellent.
All right. So,
Look at that.
okay.
Okay. So you got
So,
5 successes
I-
on that roll.
I feel as though I need to give it up that, like, when someone mentions that the prophet lives on Arrakis, there's just this flash of grief on Daphne's face.
Carissa to
Well,
Carissa.
also during
Yeah.
the conversation, the face dancer did say prophet's daughter.
Right, meaning that, like, the prophet lives on Arrakis. She doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
But he said prophet's daughter talking to you.
Right.
That was my personal slip up. Yeah, I'll let that. I mean, with a roll like that, yeah. So your mentat mind starts to work. Your eyes flick into the back of your head for a second, and you calculate things like, okay, the Sana Gaib, the Mahdi, da 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 da. Okay, voice from the outer world. I've heard all these things, you know, from film books and so on. But you also see by reading and from everything that's been said between the face dancer and Lady Daphne that whoever this prophet is, this new prophet that this Tlaylax face dancer is beholden to, is linked directly to the woman that you're talking to right now, which is revelatory because you've never heard of a Tlaylax owing fealty of any kind, especially with religious fervor, to someone who is native or who lives on Arrakis. That's brand new information. And so you kind of like, okay, the prophet, the master, her mother.
So her mother is this prophet?
Or her parents.
Okay.
I don't
Like one of
know.
her parents.
Specified.
Okay.
It's a weird situation.
You get all of that. And actually, I'll say that you have like 2 momentum to play around with. If you wanted to spend momentum to ask a question of me, and I'd have to answer you truthfully.
Betty is also reminding us that they have procured for us benevolence, because they're in a good mood tonight, I guess, and not out for blood.
I think I put it down there. Is this a secondary benevolence? I saw one earlier.
I think it's the one they bought before.
It's the one from earlier.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I put that up there. That's the one benevolence that you still have currently.
Okay.
Other option?
You
don't
want
want to
ask
ask a question?
Unless I can ask questions which, you know, none of the information was presented here. Like, if I could ask.
It would just be like your mind is processing, analyzing the information, making a projection, basically.
Okay,
On
so
pure data.
It's possible that in some book or study, I may actually know her lineage then.
Daphne's?
Right.
I mean, Adelaide would be obvious.
And I think
That,
Kyra
yeah,
was
that would
I
be
think,
known, but the
I thought
Eossi
Kyra
part
was
probably
listed.
Not. Say what? Sorry.
I thought we had said that Kyra was openly with Adelaide at one point.
This is true. Okay.
And I do have some scrap of a claim on Eossi.
Yeah, you see that, you know, from studying house politics and the situation on Arrakis before you arrived, you saw that, oh yeah, Lady Daphne had Adelaide, and she was with someone named Kyra Eossi, who was part of another house, Bene Gesserit trained, etc. And putting all the pieces together, you're like, oh, that's who this is.
Okay, so do I have so that's the only thing I would use that momentum for, is to get the actual name of who they're talking about then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you could use that like in that conversation to kind of like either evoke a reaction or to gain some sort of, you know, like edge on this conversation, like, oh, I know about you and da 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 da.
No, I'm good.
Excellent. Keeping it to yourself. All right.
Just gonna put that arrow in your quiver, fire it later.
The face dancer kind of excuses himself, and with your leave, he'll leave the room and the palace, and with your, if you wish it, he'll take the Harkonnen captive with him.
Where to?
Wherever it deem it necessary. Otherwise, he will be returning back to Sihaya.
Before he takes him away, Conky will just walk up to Nadim and give him a little prick on his hand. Just
God
enough to drop
Oh.
damn
blood.
it, Norma!
No. Okay. And
Don't know.
once she takes that prick, she just takes some of that blood, puts it away, and
Well, I won't agree to have any of my blood drawn.
you're not in a position to agree to anything.
Because
Oh,
is
no.
a liability.
Norma.
You need to
I
continue.
didn't do anything.
Who's Norma?
Also, not Norma.
If you wish my blood,
Oh,
then you'll
shit.
have to kill me first.
No, my cans are very
There
small.
I-
That's the-
are better ways to
you
solve
have
this
better pickup of
problem.
what's happening
I,
to
I,
the
I look
people
at
in
the
Dune
pinprick
than
of blood that I've already got of yours.
My bad.
We're
Well,
going.
no,
little
one's
late
holding,
for
no
that.
one's holding me down, I assume, right? Or like has a pistol on me or anything like that. So
We're
I would-
going.
No.
Norma, Conky, we're going to start this relationship off on the right foot. Put the needle down.
There's nothing on the needle.
Put the needle down.
I was just doing a blood test.
Put the needle down.
Do as the Duchess says, the face dancer says. Hand on the Chris knife.
I shoot the face dancer the dirtiest look. I'll get
You'll
you.
talk back to the prophet's daughter. Get the fuck out of here. Right, well,
Does
then we shall be off.
she put the needle down?
I did.
All right, just crushes it under her shoe. Norma, or I'm sorry, no, Conky has a habit of independent action. I think Sahaya Tabir is a good place for him to be brought.
They'll take his water if I
Well, tell Zushir I said not to.
This is a very big proposition here.
Yes. Yeah.
I cannot promise that they will stay their
He's got
blades,
he's got the
Well,
warrior
then
sword.
he
but I
will-
will do what I can.
Warrior sword.
Well, then, Nadim will stay here as an honored guest. I
He
don't
looks
think.
to Nadim as a like to see his reaction.
That is acceptable to me. If the choice is between staying here, someplace I'm
As you
familiar
wish.
with, as opposed to a Fremen's place, then yes, I would prefer to stay here.
He dismisses himself then.
Well, so before he dismisses himself, Daphne will say, he spoke true when he said that his goal was deposing the Baron. And I think that if that came to pass, that would improve the Imperium as a whole.
If you trust his words, then
I trust his ambition.
well said. I will pass this information along to Merlat and the others. If he says that low enough so that the Harkonnen can hear.
Also,
Then-
warn Soshir of the rumors they're spreading about him if he doesn't already know.
We will.
Thank you. I'll be there to see him soon.
No,
He passes
no,
the word
I'm
along.
gonna
What do you do with
I'm gonna
the-
take off his helmet.
Any last
I'm gonna
last
take-
comments
take his-
for Nadim or actions to set up accommodations or what have you?
Just that.
I'm not going to say that you have your freedom, because that would be insulting us both. We both know that my people will have eyes on you
I've done
at
this
all
with-
times.
I've done this with
Instead,
lots
let's
of
say I look forward to seeing what you do
beyond
with the freedom you have now.
I know.
Oh, do you wish me to
I know.
stay here inside the building?
Wait,
Is that necessary for you to leave to accomplish your goals?
what war
Yes, it is, but I mean, it sounds like we'll need to come to some kind of accommodation.
I suppose we shall.
It's like you said.
I wouldn't want to
You're doing a good job.
accidentally harm one of your people while going about my business.
And you're going to keep them alive.
Well, I suppose we shall have to maintain constant communication to ensure that it doesn't happen.
For their families. You understand?
Certainly.
The Face Laser did tell you, Daphne, that you found Nadim in Arakeen, one of the two syndicates work out of predominantly. Do you give him access to be able to fly back to Arakeen, or is he like contained to the palace proper?
So basically, Nadim is allowed to go wherever we can surveil him. If that includes Arakeen, then that includes Arakeen, as long as we can keep an eye on what he's up to and what he's doing.
So not quite a hostage. Okay, just wanted to check.
Until he does something that acts directly against the house, no.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, it's like, if he can become the Baron and we can be friends, that's a win.
True. Nadim, any last things you want to say or do now that you're in this new situation?
Yes. Are there any quarters I can stay at? And do you have a kitchen? I haven't eaten in quite a while. I was something during my meeting, but your friend shot my friend, and so it's been quite a ordeal.
We will arrange quarters for you, of course, befitting your station. Not the kitchens, but the galleys. Essentially the place where they serve food, not prepare food. You don't get to be where they prepare food.
Yes, that would be smart.
But yes, food, water, shelter, all of that will be provided.
Very well. Also, I have a man. Well, yes.
Congratulations.
Well, just my guard. He flies me and such. Would you prefer that we keep our relationship a bit clandestine, or
I don't even know the nature of your relationship with this man. Is this personal business?
No, he's just my guard.
Ah.
My pilot.
Keep it clandestine for now.
Very well. Then let us find a method for us to communicate with each other in a quiet way.
Oh.
So I won't require chambers here then, as that would become suspicious.
Well, we'll have a few empty rooms that will be rarely checked on.
Very well.
Book it.
We
Thank
will.
you very much, my lady, and for all of your time.
Conky, please make sure he receives all the appropriate equipment, Communinet and such.
Of course, Duchess.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Eye language, and keep an eye on him.
So you are escorted and given to the galley. They have a bite, and then you have your quarters if you want to stay here, or you just take a ride back to Arakeen, to your safe house, presumably where you're working out of. Of course, if you don't want to lead House Cheshire's spies to where you're reportedly staying with other assets of yours there in Arakeen, you would probably want to veer them somewhere else. Maybe stay at a room or board somewhere.
Yeah, I'll pick up my. I'll go back to our Arakeen, pick up my guy who was flying me or whatever, and and stay someplace more public than the safe house.
Sure. Yeah, you find a place, a little establishment to stay. Your guard is kind of confused as to why you're staying there, and you're just like, don't worry about it. This is we're on business right now. That's where we'll shift the camera to Jabberwock and Elois. Oh, Elois. So you have Beatrice and Varys staying at the palace. Beatrice is staying in Alicia's old room. Omelas, who's now back as the Mentap for your house instead of House Cheshire. He's dressed in his traditional robes, his red robes. He's drinking his Sappho juice early in the morning, the next day after you buried the dead and got everybody out of the garden. And he summons you for like a house meeting, essentially. You and Amira, Varys and Beatrice, if you will allow it. Otherwise, he'll exclude anybody you don't want present to discuss like internal house business.
They might not be part of my house, but they are family technically. So
okay, fair enough. So Beatrice is a little, doe-eyed when she walks in. She's never experienced anything like this. You can tell that she's been, and she's still doing so. She's reviewing old hollow images of your sister, stuff that was left behind in the palace. She's attempting to try to discover who Alicia was, perhaps in an attempt to try to figure out who she is or who she shouldn't be. And Varys is taking it one day at a time, just kind of, feet on the table, relaxed, like toying with one of his blades. Amir, of course, is as stoic as always, standing by your side and, giving everybody the ugly eye, like, put your feet down, Varys. You're not at a, you're in a palace. And he kind of like gets the visual cue and like, okay, puts his boots down on the ground. Omelas defers to you to open the meeting.
let's discuss the state of things here, shall we? I'll be blunt. It's a disaster here.
Everybody looks around nervously. Varys says, I didn't do it.
This is not an accusation. I'm just stating the obvious, I suppose.
I know. I'm just trying to lighten the mood. Well, Melissa, we have serious concerns regarding Yeva and other elements within Jabberwock.
Has she begun her third-rate scheming again? I warned her.
Not as far as my agents were able to discern, my lady.
She looks to Amira as well.
She nods in accordance, like, yes. He's not bullshitting you.
Excellent.
Like, what sort of problem are we having exactly, Omelas? Varys asks of your mentat. It's like, well, that's what bothers me. We don't know. She's been here for quite some time while I've been imprisoned. Her actions, of course, put me there. I don't know what the limits of her correspondence were with anyone here or outside of Jabberwock. I don't know what she's been plotting. But she has entertained quite a few courtiers in her time. Courtiers, I may add, my lady, that are now your courtiers, you see. They are convening here later today to, as part of holding court, I suppose. They are the elite of Jabberwock, what remains of them, at least. Merchants and their families, and those who have assets and things off-world as well, in other parts of the system. They will undoubtedly arrive here to offer some kind of assurance that they are on your side of things.
I'm going to do you all a service that I was rarely afforded working for the guild. I'm going to speak plainly whenever we have these personal meetings.
Oh.
I'm not worried about what third-rate sycophants are going to tell me. I am an S-tier liar, and I can smell them out. So, the way I see this going down is they're going to butter me up. I come with not just my own assets and wealth now. I've been granted most of my uncle's. We are flush with Spice and Solaris at this point. They have nothing to bribe me with other than their loyalty. So, my goal is to find out who's the dirtiest and kill them in front of everyone.
Varys is a little
Damn it,
surprised, but
Eloise!
he kind of does like the, well, okay, bravo for you.
I want to make it clear that whatever ambitions, whatever goals they have are meaningless to me. As long as they do what they're told and help me rebuild our ruined planet, they can have whatever side deals, whatever shenanigans they want to, as long as they don't cross me.
You do this, my lady, Omelas warns. You may you may develop a reputation here on Jabberwock and within the Imperium of being ruthless. Is that something that you want to convey to
It's just me,
possible
Aaron.
suitors?
Aaron casually glancing at Eloise's traits she's had since day one, loyal and ruthless.
He means more specifically about the house.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just glanced over. It's literally it's like where my character sheet is set up right now. It's literally like the top of my character sheet is loyal and ruthless. Anyways, forgive me. I am perhaps I spoke too ruthlessly, as you put. But I'm not worried about what they think of me. The people of this entire planet owe me their lives at this point.
Yes.
Even if I've known for being ruthless, am I not also beloved?
Is that something that you want to try to develop as part of the image of your house? Benevolent, but also ruthless.
I think we'll see how dirty these sycophants that'll come to meet me are, and I'll make my decision then. As far as the image I want to project to the people as a whole, isn't the nobility tired? Aren't you tired of this differential between us? I think the people are tired. I'm tired of it. I grew up as a second-rate citizen in my own house because of my heritage. I have no love for nobility. Why don't we try something different? Here's my plan. I imagine there's several orphans on Jabberwock these days. We're going to raise their status and bring them into my fold.
Well, Melis's eyes like flash open, like, I'm sorry, are you suggesting that we adopt these orphans as part of the house? Regis Familia?
Not as heirs direct, but yes, that's exactly what I'm suggesting. I have amongst us right now, Amelis, a well-regarded and well-seasoned mentat, an assassin, she gestures to Avira, of the finest talents, a sword master, and my brother. I think you can all judge these people and their skill sets, and we'll find the ones that show most promise, and we'll recruit them. Yes, exactly. We'll bring them into the fold. We'll build a new house from scratch. None of these sycophants will be graced with my last name.
This whole time, like, mention of like making an example of people and stuff, like it's kind of had Beatrice like almost taken aback, like, oh my god, is this really happening? Am I sitting on a message at a meeting where we're discussing people's lives? And then you get to the part about like we're gonna take in all these orphans and we're going to make them part of the house, and essentially like taking them from one level of poverty and raising them up, and like she's like that kind of like it changes her demeanor, and like you can tell she's stifling and holding back like tears. The idea that you can take somebody who's effectively no one, has no family or anything like that, and then bring them into the house.
I assume Eloise clocks this pretty easily. I assume she's not guard. Okay.
She's not Bene Gesserit trained or anything. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, she'll be like, Beatrice. We've spoke about this previously. I am supposed to deliver you to the Duchess, not in a threatening manner. Please do not take it that way. But you are, obviously, you've learned this. You are her sister in every sense of the word genetically, if not possessing memories. However, there can be a place for you here instead if you want. That's what I said to you last time we spoke. What would you like for yourself? I will facilitate it. She kind of looks at her brother, realizing that he might have something to say about this.
He'll just like, let her decide. But yeah, Beatrice looks around the room like seeking some kind of confirmation from someone, like, yes, take the deal, or no, you belong here, she's seeking some kind of affirmation from somebody about what to do, because she's in her short time in this world, she's not been able to make any decisions. She's had to look to everybody else to make decisions for her. So she's kind of unsure. And she's like, I think I would like to meet my sister, if you don't mind.
I don't at all. I understand. As someone who has lost a lot of family and found new ones, she'll nod to Varys. I understand the notion, but my offer stands. If you want to return here after you meet with Daphne, that's perfectly fine.
Yes, I won't mind staying here for some time, but I think the next opportunity, I would like to know my other siblings.
You do have two, I suppose.
I didn't know. There were photos.
Yes. Go ahead.
She says like that there were images that I found in Alicia's room, but I only saw one. She had reddish hair and she dressed very finely. This was Daphne.
That's correct. My niece.
I appreciate giving me the offer.
I have my own records of the family. Not much about your siblings, but the rest, my sisters, what would have been your mother and what would have been your other aunt. If you'd like those as well.
I would. Thank you. Melissa's like, there's one other concern, your lady.
Yes. Forgive me, Abelis, for doting on family.
No, please. But this one particular detail is perhaps critical to our continued operation here on Jabberwock, and that is of the White Rabbits, the legion of fanatical followers behind Archibald. They are demanding of his whereabouts. They are growing increasingly nervous about what the situation here on Jabberwock, and while they are grateful that their families and friends were not demolished from the accident that almost occurred here recently, the Hayliner. They are demanding answers. How should
We'll
we deal with them?
we'll tell them the truth. Archibald unleashed Alicia on our family and went into exile to Two-Pile for his crimes and left me his assets.
He willingly exiled himself? Or shall we tell them that the Landsrat did so?
Eloise pulls out the letter that Archibald gave her. I have the proof right here.
As a refresher, what did this letter say?
I think I'm gonna have to go to Jared for that, but Jared did give Eloise a letter, like apologizing for the kidnapping and giving her everything, basically.
Wow. Okay. So you just want to be like, oh, you want to find Archibald? Go that way.
Yep.
Would you be willing
or they can decide to stay with Eloise since Archibald pledged her everything, pretty much.
Were you wanting to do this in a bid to get them to leave, to vacate? Because if they were to leave the moon, that would leave it in your care, essentially, as steward.
Oh, okay. Then I think I'll do a two-pronged approach here. Then I'll tell them the truth and be like, if you want to follow your general, I can arrange that because I do have guild contacts.
Oh, yes, you do. Yeah, and you know where it lies, so you can give them all the information they need.
I sure do.
It's like, well, there's a delegation that's supposed to be coming soon. What should I tell them? How would you want to receive them?
I'll receive them as honored guests, as they are. My uncle was a war hero, and they are heroes themselves. So we'll receive them as honored guests. I will tell them everything and let them decide.
Okay. Did you want to deal with the courtiers first and then second, or is there any particular order you wanted to deal with any one of these factions?
Part of me wants to do them both. Like,
invite them all to the same party?
Yeah. That's I kind of, yeah, exactly. Like have them all, everyone be on off footing because they're all expecting like, oh, this is going to be our private audience. Like, no, I'm meeting you all at once.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so I'm envisioning the way that this appears is at night, like these, high society types show up in their gowns and stuff like that and everything. And then the militia walks in, with full boots and weapons and shit inside the palace, and everybody's just kind of like, oh my god, the white rabbits are here. What is this?
100%. I love it. I'm here for it.
When that comes down, Amira just kind of smiles to herself and watches everybody as they walk in. And the white rabbits have somewhat of a similar reaction to the or a different reaction than your courtiers, but they kind of like regard the nobility as such. They're just like, huh, one look at them and they just kind of ignore them the rest of the time. It's like, why are they here? This is Wana and Rona Keen, the brother and sister leaders of the White Rabbits that are here with their delegation.
Forgive me for wanting to take care of two birds with one stone, if you will. I suppose two rabbits with one stone.
Strange analogy, but proceed.
I'm a strange person, you'll find.
So we see.
So let's cut to the chase, shall we? Who would like to start? She'll look to both sides, like the nobles, and then over to the White Rabbits.
I thought we were here for a party. Like this was supposed to be a discussion on current events here on Jabberwock.
Indeed, and I'm offering you the floor. Unless you'd like to tweet more like the bird you sound like.
One of the other nobles stands up, like, I believe there needs to be some accountability for the person who is very obviously not here with us now. This person is, of course, referring to Yeva, who used to be the other person who held court here at the palace before you came along, of course.
Ah, I assume you refer to Yeva.
Indeed, I am.
Yeva no longer holds title or house, so why would she be present here?
Well, she was the one. She was the steward, of course.
And she is no longer.
When did this happen? Someone else chimes in on their side.
It happened when my uncle went into exile to Two Pile.
There are audible gasps on the courtier side of the room, and the white rabbits look at each other and they look back to you. He exiled himself?
Yes, I will be happy to share this letter with you. You may look at it and see it as his handwriting, but allow me to read it aloud for you. And then she reads the letter Archibald left her aloud. Folds it up when she is done and hands it to whatever aide is closest so that it may be distributed and read freely. Yeah. And then she's just like, my uncle unleashed Alicia on our house and caused the death of our Sook doctor and nearly that of the Duchess. So he has been exiled to Two Pile. House Librius has been dissolved. His assets are now mine. House Pachare is now in control of Jabberwock under the auspices of House Cheshire.
They're kind of stunned to hear all of this. And you see, like, the white rabbits in particular are just like, did he mention why he needed to go to Two Pile of all places? Is he in danger?
I can't answer those questions with any certainty because I have never personally been to Two Pile. But given that is where all people exiled from the houses, fallen houses, the people who have sinned against their own houses have gone, I can only assume it will be fraught with danger. If the White Rabbits would like, I am a former member of the guild. I do know where Two Pile lies. I can facilitate your journey there. I'd be happy to do so as to honor my uncle's memory and the gift he's given me.
Beautiful. Yeah, so you appeal to their, adherence to Archibald in particular, and they're like, yes, if Archibald is in any sort of danger, then we and the Varangian Guard need to be there as well.
I agree. Every help, I do not condone what my uncle did, but he atoned for his actions in the end, and he is still a hero to our people. She kind of gestures broadly to everyone gathered.
Varys holds up a cup of, some bubbly or whatever. It's like, and it runs in the family. It's toast.
So I'm happy to facilitate.
Oh, sorry,
of course. I'm more than happy to provide aid in the means of providing you access there. However, I do want to stress that Two Pile is going to be deeply dangerous for you all.
We're prepared to die if need be.
Commendable and honorable as the White Rabbits are.
You see some of the gentry are like, mumbling among themselves. Like there's like, and then one of them's like, what about us? What is to happen with the rest of us here? It's like, we have a place within this court. We are the facilitators of industry here on Jabberwock.
Tell me, what have you done for the people? Attention. Do you know what I saw when I arrived here? Our precious Jabberwock cats being sold off to the Atreides, and they were thin, bare-boned. Tell me exactly what you've done for the people lately. Because as far as I've seen, all you've been is yes people for Yeva.
Give me a communications roll. This will be easy for you.
It might be my highest stat or something.
No difficulty. I just want to see how well you to
Sure.
communicate this, what you're saying to them.
I'm torn between two things. I'll let you decide, Eric. Because duty or justice. Duty is I know my responsibilities, but justice is I will get revenge on.
Justice.
I will get revenge on those who wrong me.
Yes.
Okay, justice it will be. I'm not being deceitful, so I don't think deceit applies here.
Two successes. That's minimum. Yeah, you see, like you convey that with just the right amount of venom in your tone. That they're just like, this is insulting. You see some of them say, like, how dare you? Let me see that letter. They're like all gathered around the paper, but the Keen's siblings have already read and dissected the letter front to back, forwards and back, upside down. So they're like, we know what we have to do. We'll ready our ships and our people. And it's like, we'll send you a communique when we're ready to move, and we'll meet your contact with the guild.
What's this business and shield gesture kind of dismissively towards the nobles? That's for the White Rabbits. Once this business is concluded, I will reach out to my contacts and make sure your journey is not impeded in any regard.
Okay. Before they leave, they consult with one another, and then they slip you a piece of paper, like a little, one of those little like strands that has information on it.
Mm-hmm.
This is like super classified information that they're passing you. You took it away for later, probably, or do you like?
Oh,
excuse
that's
yourself and go in the other room and check it out.
That's for later. I've got business here still. Like
Okay, fair enough.
right here.
They take their leave afterwards. Thank you, your lady, not my lady. And they gather the things and they start heading out. And you see some of the nobles are like, oh, thank God, those rugged bastards have taken their leave. And let's see what this is say here. What? And then they kind of like, a lot of them feign like, oh my goodness, like that's terrible that Archibald would do such a thing. They abandon our world. Oh my God. But they're like, well, we still would like to have some concessions here with regards to the economy, of course. You will, of course, abide by the old arrangements that Archibald and as steward before you had enshrined, yes?
No.
They're all kind of like struck dumb when you say that. Like, how blunt of you. Have you no decency? And, Amira just kind of like barely keeps her anger in check.
I have plenty. I asked you a question and you've yet to answer it for me. What have you done for my planet and its people?
Well, after this show, we will make sure that this is the last time anyone from your family takes control of Jabberwock. Steward or no steward, sponsor house or no sponsor house, we will be taking this up with the Sisselrad. Rest assured. And they start like walking out, and you see Varys is just like, cheers! Takes a drink.
So, Eloise turns to Amira. Whoever said that in eye language to Amira, she just says that one.
Okay, perfect. She smiles and then like quietly leaves the room, and no one is aware that she's gone. And Varys, the room empties within moments. Like a magic trick, and like doors close, and it's just you and Varys inside the chamber. And he's like, that was pretty bold of you, he says.
She, like, the act drops a little bit, because it's just her and Varys, and she's like, I'm so tired of these people, and this noble bullshit, brother.
I understand. He's like, if there's anything I can do for you before I return to Arrakis and to my beloved, just let me know. Be happy to help.
I assume there's going to be assassins sent in the near future, so if you could just be a dear sibling and keep your eyes peeled, that will be enough, I think.
Life is in my hands now.
Is Amelis still here, or did Amelis leave as well?
He didn't attend the party.
Okay.
He was probably watching remotely to kind of like get the nuances of everything
Um,
down. So he's probably like in the situation room or whatever, reviewing the comm eyes.
Okay, so she'll either just say aloud or just send a communique to Amelis and be like, "Get me a Suk doctor as soon as possible for a
Are you well?
consultation."
Oh,
Yes, I'm perfectly well. This is a consultation.
yes, I can arrange that, of course. And he's like, he goes, and he's still reviewing the comm eye information, but he like puts it into the forefront of his memory. Like, you must consult a Suk doctor. You have that strand the Keen's siblings gave you, and out of curiosity, you find one of the Solido projector consoles within the room, and you put it in just out of curiosity. What did they give? What message did they give me? And then the projection comes up, and it's a series of codes.
Oh fuck! It's the nuke codes.
It's the codes to the atomics, the House Atomics, on the moon, and that's where we'll stop.
Eloise got nukes, baby.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
A very big arrow and a very big quiver.
I think this is the appropriate way to end that one. Bomb, bomb, bomb.
I need a
yes.
cigarette after all that.
That's all the time that we have for this session. I hope everyone here and those who tuned in enjoyed the show. We will continue our adventures into the Imperium next Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's just go around the virtual tabletop one more final time to reintroduce our wonderful cast, beginning with Devin.
Hello and goodbye, everyone. I am Devin. I have been Conky Sen, not Norma. And you can find me online at Sword of Sullied, and you'll see me here once again for this wonderful game next week.
Enough that you didn't even know that you missed until that point.
Ever.
Hey everybody, I've been Zoshir. I have also been Tiberii. You can find me all over the internet as Am Changeling and on Etsy at Thornkind.
Leo.
You're muted.
Buddy.
Yeah, you just heard us all go, woo! Oh.
There's Bob filling in the gap. You are still muted, friend Jared.
Oh no.
Decent.
Check your audio.
He just posted in Discord that something wrong. So
Oh, well, we
he
can
is-
skip him, do him last.
Sure. Moon.
Hi, I'm Khaldun Khalil. Everybody calls me Moon. I was playing Nadim Harkonnen. You can find me on Twitter at @KKhalil. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. See you next time.
Can you hear me now?
There you go. Welcome
Yeah.
back, Jared. Tell the good people who you are, what you play, and what kind of trouble you're in.
Hello, my name is Leo, and today I played Archibald, and oh boy, I'm in lots of trouble, lots of trouble, but he's used to it by now.
But Eloise just sent you reinforcements.
I was
Might
thinking
take
about
a
that,
while
but
to get there, but they're on their
there's
way.
that's like a double-edged
Instantaneous
sword,
travel.
though. Because, like, what if the machines get to him before I can? And so it's like, you're technically sending people to slaughter.
Maybe, maybe not.
I hope. I didn't even have my personal guard. They got lost too, so it's literally just me.
Yes.
Yeah, but Eloise knows the codes. She knows the coordinates.
Yeah, of Mars, not Earth, which is the
So I want to point out that Eloise knows all of the locations of the 2-pile system. You got codes through like back alley methods. She has the real ones.
Okay. So you're gonna gotcha. You're gonna take them all the way to Earth, where like the settlements and like where like.
I don't think she knows that much. I think she knows there's multiple planets involved though.
Gotcha.
Oh yes.
Well,
Yeah, go
we'll
ahead,
see what
tell 'em,
happens. I'm excited.
Yeah, same. Go ahead and tell them who you are, Aaron.
Hello, everyone. I'm Aaron. You can find me pretty much everywhere except Twitter as Greg Tulu. Let's see. You can see me next. Um, Mondays, I record a playtest of my friend-end player in my public access game, which I'll mention in a moment, Steph, called Site 42. It is SCP-inspired Call from Brindlewood. We've got 2 sessions left of the playtest, which I'm a little sad about, but it's a really good time. It's awful and horrific and also deeply silly at times. It's kind of perfect. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Um, Thursdays I am here running public access at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. real people time. That's 9 p.m. for people on the fake coast. uh, and Friday you'll find me back here playing Eloise again.
They're not fake, they're just uncool.
That's fine. Well, sorry, East Coast, for calling you fake.
I mean, I call them uncool. I think that's worse.
You don't want to be here either.
Last but not least, of course, Rachel.
Hello, I am Rachel. I have played Duchess Daphne Cheshire. I am Stolen Fires pretty much everywhere on the internet, which you knew because you are here on this Twitch channel. You can find this and other shows on the Stolen Fires YouTube, where we would very much like your likes and subscribes on our trek to 500 subscribers, because that's when I get to monetize. Hooray! You can also find me here on Thursday for public access. It's a lot of fun. My character died! Yay! And then on Monday, we also have Fringeworthy. I'm also working on some other things in the back room. So more on that at some point in the future. At this point, it will probably be until after the holidays. But yeah, come follow me on Blue Sky. I'm on the Burning Bird app. I'm mostly just angry there. Yeah. So, also, I want to make sure I get the name correct. U.S. Campaign for Palestinian Rights, uscpr.org. They need your help. They all need your help. Call for a ceasefire. Call your Congress critters. We all want peace in the Middle East, and the first step to that is a ceasefire. So please, do what you can to help.
And I've been Eric at Photoworkpost Online. You can find me here Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Big thanks to our viewers and fans for tuning in. And yeah, head over to uscpr.org to campaign for Palestinian rights. And as always, bless the baker and his water. Bless the coming and going of him. May his passage cleanse the world. May keep the world for his people. Good night, everybody.